Hello, everybody. Can you hear me well? Bisbiyab all of you first. Can you assure me that my voice is clear first? Bisbiyab all of you.
Speak on you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, and welcome to the sixth session today, which is the fourth module, Understanding Vocab. All right, so as usual, we will have a look at the rules of the session. Just a minute, I'm just trying to get the rules here. Of course, remember to mute yourselves, to write in the chat box if you have something to add or complain about. If you raise your hand, don't forget to lower it after that. And don't forget to actively participate in the activities, because today is not like the last time's module. Actually, it's not intensive. No, you will find it inshallah interesting and fun, and I hope you enjoy it. So have a look at the rules of the session, mute yourselves, raise your hand to discuss or answer questions, and lower it after you have finished. Write in the chat box if you have something to add or a problem to complain about, and actively participate in the activities. Actually, today I'm expecting you to fully participate, all right? Because we need participation today. They are just we will be doing exercises about vocab. So let's have a look at the aims of the unit here, the learning outcomes or the module outcomes. Let's have a look at them. So by the end of this module, you will be able to explain the main concepts used to describe aspects of vocabulary. We are going to be exposed to different aspects of vocab. Okay, so we will have to understand the concepts that are used. I mean, the concepts are the definitions or the terms, okay, that are used to describe these areas of vocab or the aspects of vocab that we will learn today. All right. So you will also be able to explain some of the factors, the elements which lead to the vocabulary errors by learners. I mean, you will know well why your learners make mistakes, why your learners make errors with vocab. When they are using vocab, why do they are using, why do they are making mistakes? What are the reasons behind this? So all this we will study today in this module, inshallah. Thirdly, you should be able, by the end of this module, to relate your knowledge, the knowledge you have got by the end of the module of vocabulary, to the teaching of vocab. Okay, you will know certain areas of vocab. So how will this knowledge help you inside your classrooms? How to relate this knowledge to the teaching process in classrooms, at schools? Okay, so these are the outcomes of the module that we will be discussing today. Let's move on to the first activity we have. All right, just give me a second because this takes time. The first activity is just one question. You will be trying to think of an answer to these two questions. The first one is, what is vocabulary? You should define vocab or provide me with a definition of vocabulary. What is vocabulary? Think a little bit. What is vocabulary? So you take your time in thinking and providing a definition. You may use the internet to provide some kind of definition. You may surf the internet for an answer to the question. And here I will paste a link in the chat box. This is a link of a web page that has this question, and you have to write the answer in this web page. It's Mentimeter. You have used it before. It's easy and enjoyable. Okay, I will paste the link. Just think of an answer to this question. What is vocabulary? Think, take your time to think. And when you have the answer, all right, just a minute. I'm trying to paste the link here in the chat box. I will paste it. I have it here. So It's called actually Mentimeter, like doing a surveys. It's very interesting kind of surveys here. It's interactive because the answer that you will write, I will see it. It's interactive. I will see your answers. Okay. So I have pasted the link in the chat box. Go to the chat box, please, all of you, and press this link, click on it, and go there and answer this question. What is vocabulary? If you hear my voice well, have you got the link here? Just assure me. Have you got the link? Have you seen it in the chat box, or I should send it again? Just assure me, please, Yeah, yes, okay, Miss Samaha, okay. Thank you very much. Just press it and go there. I will go. You write, as you see in the page, you have a question. What is vocab? Think of an answer and type the answer here in this box and click submit. After you have finished your answer, click submit so that I can see the answer. All right, take your time. I'll see. What is vocabulary? I'll see how many people have gone there, have been there, not gone, because you will be back. So it's gone. So two people answered here, but I will not say the answer now till the others say their answers. Just two people. Type the answer if you have it. Okay, well, right answer. The first one is right answer. Words. Okay. The two answers the two answers that you provided are correct. Both of them are correct. What about the others? I need more participation. Click on the link in the chat box and go there. Provide us with an answer. Two people answer the question. I'm waiting. What is vocabulary? What is vocabulary? What is it? What do we mean by vocab? Two people participated only. What about the others? Third one here. Good. I'll read it, but I'll not say it now. Okay, for answers. Great. Okay, Ms. Samah, I can see your answer in the chat box. You can write it in the link in the web page. Very good. Great answers. I have 4 answers that are correct here. I need more answers. Huh?
Can I answer, Ms. Marwa?
Okay, you want to answer it orally, not written in the website or the web page?
Yes. Vocabulary
Okay.
refers to the words we know to communicate
Just a minute.
effectively.
Okay, just a minute. We will. Okay, let's come back, all of you. So I have 4 answers here. One of you wrote the vocabulary of a language is all the words in it. Another one wrote words we use to communicate. A third one wrote vocab is commonly defined as all the words known and used by a particular person. Another person wrote the meaning. Vocab is the meaning. So we will see. Let's go back to the meeting. Okay, Mr. Who was speaking, Mr. Ayman, or who?
Yes. Vocabulary
Yes,
refers to the words we use in speaking.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So vocab is the words we use in speaking. Okay.
Yes.
I I agree with you. Thank you very much. Who wants to add?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Mr. Ayman, don't forget to lower your hand after you have finished, okay? Okay. Who else
Okay.
wants to add something here?
There is something wrong. I
Don't
try to
worry.
fix it.
Okay, don't worry. Huh? Who wants to add something? Who is raising his hand? Somebody else? Some people wrote in the chat box, Mr. Ayman, you are raising. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Mr. Ayman, go ahead. Mic with you. Unmute and tell us. Okay, Mrs. Sameh, go ahead. Unmute and tell us.
Yes, Miss.
Ayo.
The vocabulary is a range of language of a person or a group.
Yes, the vocabulary is a range of
Language or
words, language
of a person or a group.
of a person or a group. You mean the
The
language that
word
people use?
means
Thank
the
you
word
very
of the
much.
language. The words.
The words of a language. Very good. Thank you very much. I agree with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, who else? Mrs. Fatma, go ahead. Mrs. Fatima Mahmoud, go ahead, my dear colleague. I'm waiting for you. You are raising your hand.
Okay, Miss Mar.
Okay.
Vocabulary means the words we use to communicate effectively
Very
in
good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
speaking.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, vocab has lots of meanings, but the main word that refer to the vocab is words, right? Mainly words. So I can see people here writing in the chat box the words in a language, the range of language of a person or a group. It's all items and expressions. Mr. Samir has said that. All the words known and used by a particular person. Thanks, Mrs. Ines. Mr. Abdul Majid has written new words which students don't know or see before. He means the new words. Okay, very good. Mr. Isam. Okay, hello, Mr. Isam. Thank you very much. I haven't, my dear colleague, please change me into the organizer. I don't know how to do it, Mr. Isam, by the way. How to change you into the organizer? I don't know how. I am using the cellular today because I have a problem with the laptop. So just tell me how can I do it and I'll do it immediately. Unmute yourself and tell me. Hello first. It's a great honor having you here.
السلام عليكم والسلام
Can you tell me how to change the organizer? You have
السلام
something.
عليكم.
Yeah, walaikum assalam. Peace be upon you. Yeah, Mr. Isam, I can hear you. There seems to you have something wrong with the internet connection, maybe. So till you are back with me. Thank you for being with me today. Anyway.
السلام
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
عليكم. You to click participant, then click me and change it to organizer.
Sorry, I can't hear you well.
In your screen, you are opening using the phone, okay?
I'm using
You
the
just
cellular.
need,
Yeah.
yes, you just need to click on participant.
Participants. Okay, just a minute. Participants. Okay. The meeting
You
options, you mean?
will change me into organizer.
Okay, Mr. Isam, in
Yes,
the participants
just
here.
click it.
Okay. What is your name? Yeah, just a minute. I'll click you. I don't have the option here. I don't have the option. I have an option which is جعله حاضرا. Maybe it is.
Okay,
Let's.
maybe it is.
I will change it anyway. Let's. I don't know if it works.
Okay.
Huh. Check it. Are you the organizer now?
You are an attendant. You want to be able to share content.
Okay. I'll
It
continue.
doesn't work. Please get away.
Okay. It doesn't work. I'll try again. Just a minute. It's not this. Okay. Try to check this. Does it work? Are you the organizer now?
Okay.
Yes, you are. Okay. Excuse me. I will complete the session till we have this the coming activity, inshallah. So I will ask you to get my learners into the breakout rooms. Okay. Actually, it has been a great honor having you today, Mr. Isam.
Of luck, my dear.
Thank you so much. So, my dear colleagues, back again. We have been speaking about what is vocab. So, actually, vocab is defined in the Oxford Online Dictionary as all the words that exist in a particular language. All right. It's also referred to as lexis. So, today we are going to study the different areas, and I have to ask you, what are the areas of language that your learners find difficult? I will show you the slide here. Just give me a second. So think of the question, what are the areas of the language, or I mean vocab in particular, that your learners find difficult? What areas of vocab do your learners find difficult? Think a little bit of an answer to this question. Which areas of vocab do your learners find difficult? Which areas of vocab in general, and which areas that your learners find difficult when they are trying to understand vocab or study them or even use them? I don't see the slide. You don't see the slide, Mr. Abdelmanam. What about the others? Do you all guys see the slide here? Because our colleague may have bad connection. Just assure me that you see the slide. Can you see it clearly?
It's clear, Miss Marwa. It's clear.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Abdelmanam, it seems that you have bad connection. This is something wrong with your connection or the device itself. Somebody wrote here synonym and antonym. Very good. Yes, write in the chat box. Areas of vocab do the learners find difficult when they are trying to learn vocab, to understand the vocab, etc. Write in the chat box. What are the areas, the aspects of vocab that your learners find difficult during the teaching learning process itself? Suffix and prefix, very good. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. What else? Misspelling. They have a problem with the spelling. Yes, that's one thing. Very good. What else? They find spelling difficult in pronouncing the words. Thank you, Mrs. Samah. Yeah, you mean pronunciation. Very good. They have a problem with pronunciation. Very good. That's one thing. Okay. What else? The body of words used in any language. You mean, yes, Mr. Abdelmanam, thank you very much. You mean, yeah, the structure of the word. Use in a statement. Yes, Mrs. Amira, very good. The usage, how to use it. This is another problem, and another difficulty that face my learners while they are trying to learn the vocab. Very good. Collocation. Thank you very much. That's it. That's one thing. I appreciate that. Okay. What is collocation? Who wrote the answer collocation? Just unmute and tell us what is collocation. Mrs. Samah says different meaning and usage. Yeah, the different meanings of the word. Words with long syllables. Yeah, that's one thing. Okay, very good. So, who wrote collocation as a difficulty that face my learners while they are learning vocab? Please, you just unmute yourself and tell us why do you think that learners find collocations difficult when they are learning vocab? Because I don't see the name. Collocations. Unmute and tell us why are collocations difficult for my learners? Mhm. What are collocations in the first place? People who wrote collocation. Collocation. The chunks. May
Yes,
I
Miss.
say it? Yeah, go ahead. Who is it?
Yes, Miss. Collocation refers to words that are found together in language.
Yes, that's
Can
it.
be fixed where it's
Mhm.
difficult to replace one of the words with an alternative.
Yeah, collocations are the words that go with certain word. Of course, while I'm teaching a new word, there are words that go with this word. They are called
Yes, like make a cake.
very good.
Okay.
Mistake.
Do homework.
Do homework. Excellent.
Do
These are
laundry.
very good. I appreciate. Yeah, that's it. Collocations are the chunks, the words that go with this new word that I'm teaching.
There is a
So
problem in your voice. There is your voice.
there is a problem with my voice. Can you hear me well? Assure me now.
Now, now, yes.
Now clear. Hallelujah. Alhamdulillah. Thank Allah. Okay. So collocations are the words that clear. Okay. Collocations are words that go together with, for example, the new words that I'm teaching, like make a cake, catch cold, the laundry. Someone said stress. Yeah. All these areas are difficult for my students. Very good. Let's move on to another question here. I may actually need the breakout rooms to answer this question. I have another question here for you. I have to tell you first that one of the areas that my learners find difficult is the phrasal verbs, the use of phrasal verbs, the multi words. Okay. The collocations, as you said, the stress, the idioms. You will have to tell me what idioms are later on, inshallah. The use of prepositions, maybe the pronunciation, as you've just said. All these areas, the spelling, the use of words in a statement, the putting the suffix, the prefix, you said all these items. Thank you very much. So we have another question here. Look at the slide. If it is clear, you can assure me بس كده. Just assure me it is clear on the screen.
Yes, clear.
Okay, so we have a question. If I ask you, what does it mean to know a word or expression? I mean, maybe you know the form of it, how to spell it, things like that. If you say that you know a word, okay, if you tell somebody, I know this word, what do you mean by I know this word? What do you know exactly about this word? If you tell your friend, I know this expression, what do you mean by knowing the expression? What do you know about it? What are the areas that you know about it? Can you give us some more explanation? So I have to take your time to think while I'm addressing my dear colleague, Mr. Assam. Can you, Mr. Assam, now form groups or it will be difficult? I need them to go into the rooms and discuss this question together and come back to me and tell me how it went. Would
I'm
it be
trying to solve this problem. It doesn't work for me until now.
okay? So it doesn't work. Okay, so we are here completing our discussion till we find we fix the problem of breakout rooms. I just wanted you to go to rooms and discuss together and come back to me to the main meeting and say how it went. But all right, we can do it right now, maybe later on. So, what does it mean to know a word or expression? What does it mean?
Okay, miss.
Yeah, who is it? Just introduce yourself and speak.
Miss Huda Hassan.
Miss Huda. Okay, hello.
Okay, hello, Miss Marwa.
Go
When you
ahead.
say that, when someone says that he knows the word, this means that he knows the meaning of this word.
Yeah. Anything else?
Maybe the spelling, how to pronounce it.
Very
Okay,
good.
the use of it, the usage in general.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Miss Huda. That's one thing. What else? Who
Okay,
wants
Miss
to
Mar.
ask? Somebody? Yes, Mrs. Fatima or somebody else?
Ah, yes, Miss. Yes.
Okay, Miss Fatima, go ahead.
I think to know the word is to understand what the word actually means.
The actual meaning, you mean? Yeah.
Yes, the spelling, the translation in the native language.
Yeah. The actual meaning, the literal meaning, the translation. Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. What else, my dear colleagues? Yeah.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah, go ahead. Who is it?
It means that I can use this uh, word correctly in a sentence.
Yeah, how to use
I
it. You
gave
mean
the
how to use
I
it?
gave a
Mhm.
correct meaning. I gave a correct meaning
In a sentence, you mean, or alone?
in my speaking.
Yeah, so you mean that you can use it properly the right way while you are
Yes,
using it in a speech, for example. Thank you very much. That's one thing. How to use it in an idiom. Thank you so much. Using it in an idiom means the figurative meaning. The figurative
as a
meaning.
part of speech. As a part of speech.
To know the part of speech of this word. Thank you very much. What do you mean by part of speech? What do we mean by a part of speech?
Is it a verb or a noun or adjective? Verb.
Very good. The part of speech, to know the part of speech of the word means if this word is an adverb, a verb, a noun, a pronoun, a preposition. Very good. Thank you very much. Anything else? So, to know a word actually means to know lots and lots of areas and information about this word.
Miss
The
Marwa,
meaning,
Miss Marwa,
yeah, yes,
excuse me, but I think it depends on the person who says this phrase. If it is a student or if it is a specialist, for example, in syntax, when I know this word in syntax, I know the category in morphology, okay? It depends on the person who says this sentence. I know the word. Do you
yeah.
understand me?
I understand you fully, and you touched on a very important point of our session today, which is register. One of the areas I know about certain word is to know the register. The register is, the classification of this word. Does it go to persons who are speaking in an informal way, people who are speaking informally in an informal way? Okay, or they are speaking in a formal way, in an official way, because they are at work, for example, or they are in at an official organization. For example, they are doctors in a hospital and they are using certain medical terms. For example, they are, for example, engineers, and they have certain terms or terminology in engineering in particular, so they use this kind of word, not other kinds, because this has to do with the level that they are using. If it is the level of formality, so the word is formal, the word is informal, the word is neutral. It can be used in formal situations and in informal situations. So it is said to be a neutral. Okay. All these issues which Mrs. Huda has just clarified is called register. Register is the level, in particular, actually it is called the level of formality of this word. Okay. What situation I use it in, what the relationship between the speaker, okay, the speakers, one of them is the son and the father, so the language has to be in some way that is particular and different from other ways. In hospital, they speak certain language and say use certain terms or words that are different from others. So Very good, Mrs. Huda. I appreciate your opinion. You touched on a very important point here, and we have it actually in the module. So if I know the word, it means I know the meaning, the literal meaning, the actual meaning we mean, the translation, okay, and the figurative meaning. There are figurative meanings in idioms, as one of our friends have has just written in the chat box. Somebody wrote the use in the idiom or the meaning in the idiom. Yeah, this is called figurative meaning. This is a different meaning from the actual meaning of certain word. Okay, so I have to know them all. The spelling, the pronunciation of the word, the use of the word, the collocation, the register, the part of speech, the connotation. You know what is connotation? Can anybody tell me what connotation is? I mean, if I say that this word has a negative connotation, then it doesn't have a positive connotation.
اقتباس.
It has, yeah. Go ahead. What is it?
For example, legal
اسمه
and
مروة
illegal.
اقتباس.
Sorry, two
اقتباس.
people are speaking. No, it is not express connotation. Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
for example, legal and illegal. For example,
Legal and
illegal.
illegal, legal and illegal.
Yeah, قانوني وغير قانوني.
Okay, this has to do with register. Again, what you are saying, Mrs. Huda, is actually has to do with register. Okay, the situation that the word is used in. No, I don't mean this. Actually, I will tell you an example, and you tell me what connotation is. For example, the word slim and the word thin, they all mean that this person is not fat. The opposite of the word fat is slim or thin. But actually, slim has a positive meaning, a positive connotation, while thin has a negative connotation. Thin has a negative
Yes, miss.
connotation. Thin, yes, go ahead.
Positive influence,
Positive influence, okay.
or negative influence.
Yes, actually, it has something. I mean, as if the negative meaning, as if I am criticizing the person. I'm not actually saying something good to him, as if I'm saying something which is bad to him, and it will make him sad. Okay, so because it's negative, so certain words can have positive connotation. على فكرة, by the way, the actual meaning of the word connotation is الإيحاء. الدلالة الإيحاء لها إيحاء إيجابي, positive connotation, or negative connotation لها إيحاء سلبي. It makes you sad. It's like a criticism. So slim is a disease, yeah, like as if he is weak, he is ill. It's not something that is good that I'm saying to the speaker. Okay, so if I say to you, you are slim, actually slim is not a disease. Slim is a positive connotation, has a positive.
Yes,
If I tell
مروة.
you,
Thick and
yeah,
ill have a
so,
positive and negative connotation.
sorry,
Thick and ill has a positive and negative connotation.
sick and ill.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, they are almost the same. But look at the word here that I chose for you, slim. When I tell you you are slim, this is actually I am complimenting you. This is a compliment. I'm saying good words to you. You are slim. That means that you are not fat. You are beautiful. Okay, because you are not fat. But when I'm telling you, you are thin. So I'm getting you to be unhappy because I'm criticizing you, as if I'm telling you that you are weak, you are ill, you are not fat, but this is not health. Okay, this is not healthy to you.
For
Sorry.
example, I had hardly money.
Yes, I hardly have money.
Hardly is a
Hardly.
negative.
Yes, it has a negative connotation. Yeah, that's it. It's like the impression you have on a word. You have an impression towards this word. This word is bad, like it, so I don't use it. For example, certain words have a sad connotation, so you don't use it. You don't use them in happy situations. For example, so this is connotation. Good. Thank you very much, guys. Let's go to another example here or activity. Just a minute. I'm trying to share the slide here. We have an activity which is enjoyable, actually. Different meanings. What do you know about the meaning of the word fair? Fair. The word fair. I haven't shared the slide, by the way. Don't worry. I
Fair
haven't
just
shared
it
the word.
depends.
It depends. Very good. I need it. I need that expression. It depends. Very good. Yeah, you have five statements here, if you can see the slide clearly. And these are the five statements that have the word fair. I mean fair, not hair. Okay, it's fair. I mean that I need the meaning of the word fair in every statement. So you will read the statement and you will decide what the word fair means in every statement, because this word is very versatile and it has lots of meanings which are different from each other. Okay? So yeah, Mrs. Samah.
Yes, miss. Number one, she she
Okay.
used to have dark hair, but she has fair hair now,
Mm-hmm.
which means light hair,
Yes, very good. Can you
not dark.
see the slides?
Dark. It's a
Yeah. Do you
light,
have
The
not
the
dark.
slice
just
disappears, Miss Marwa. The slice disappear.
yeah, I know because I pressed some button. I'm sorry by mistake. Just a minute. Okay, so the first one is light hair. It's light color here. Very good. That's
Yes.
correct. Just a minute. I'm trying to share the slide again. Okay, very good, Mrs. Sameh. Thank you very much. Correct answer. This is number one. As our colleague has just said, she used to have dark hair, but she has fair hair now. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. It's so the word fair here means light color. Yeah, that's one meaning of the word fair because it's very versatile. It has lots of meanings. What about number two? Read the statement and to try to decide or guess the meaning of this word.
Okay, Miss
Yes,
Marwa.
Miss
Who is
Mara.
it? Who is it?
Yes. Okay,
Miss
Miss
Mara.
Huda.
I need somebody else. I need more participations and new hands. Mrs. Amira, you are raising your hand. Yeah,
Yes, Miss
Mrs.
Mar.
Amira.
Number
Okay,
two, it was a fair decision, and so everyone accepted it.
yeah,
It was a right decision.
very good. Yeah, correct answer. It was a right decision. What else? Yeah, it's right decision. Yes, this is correct. It's right. It's right decision. Yeah, good decision. Yeah, somebody wrote here. Good decision. Very good. It's also correct. What else? A good decision, a right decision, a reasonable decision.
Yes, miss. Can I say equitable?
I sorry,
Can I say equitable?
equitable. What do you mean by
Equitable
equitable?
decision. Just, just.
Acceptable. Acceptable is correct. I see somebody writing here in the chat box acceptable. Yeah, it's acceptable. It's reasonable decision. It's a wise decision. Thank you very much. What about number three? Read number three and tell me the meaning of the word fair.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yes, a
Yes.
new participant. A new participant. I see
Yes,
people
Miss Marwa.
writing nice. Yes, who is it?
Miss Hiba.
Miss Heba. Yeah, Miss Heba, hello.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Yes.
Sorry for what?
Number three, the weather was fair, so we decided to go for a walk. And all the weather was good, so we decided to go for a walk.
Okay, the weather was good. The weather was nice, as our friends have written in the chat box. Beautiful, Mrs. Samah says, beautiful. The weather is
Great.
nice. The weather, sorry,
Doing great,
fine.
Miss.
Yeah, go ahead, nice. Who
Uh,
wants to add something? Yeah,
Miss Marwa,
Sunny, Marwa.
yes. Yeah, go ahead, miss.
Sunny.
we
I can't hear you well.
we may say the weather was suitable, so we decided to go for a walk.
Okay, you mean suitable. It's nice. It's temperate. Yeah, It's dry, it's sunny. Thank you very much. What about number 4?
There to
Sorry, we can't. You're breaking up. Your voice cuts off. Direct. This is number 4. Let's read it first. We still have a fair way to go. I think we will be there this evening. We will be there this evening. Straight. Think again.
Okay,
We still-
Miss.
yeah, go
Miss
ahead.
Mar,
Yeah, who is it?
along the way?
Mrs. Amira, I guess. I know
Yes,
you
yes,
from the
along the
voice.
way.
Along,
Miss.
yeah. Yeah, a long way. That's it, a long way. So we still have a long way or a considerable way to go. I think we will be there this evening. Yeah, very good. What about number 5? They went to an antiques fair at the weekend. Just unmute and tell us and introduce yourself because I don't see the names properly. Somebody wrote show, exhibition. Very good. Right answer, exhibition, show. Yeah. So it's a show, it's an exhibition. Okay, very good. This is the answer. So, as we have just seen in the statements, the word fair have different and various meanings. So, actually, I have to tell you that 40% of the English words have different meanings and are very versatile. They have different meanings, and you have to be well acquainted with them all, and you have to teach your students about some of them, I guess. So I have a question for you here. How did you know the meaning of the word fair in each sentence? How did you know it?
Okay,
Did
Miss.
yes, go ahead.
Mar,
Okay,
Yes, go.
what
we
what
can't
is the
deal with
meaning?
words outside their context. So we deal with context in order to understand the exact meaning of the word.
Very good. Now you don't have a dictionary. You just have a statement and a new word that you are learning, and you don't know the meaning of this word. So you are trying to guess the meaning. Very good. That's context. Context. What does it mean to say context? You guess the meaning from context. What is context for you?
That the word is before and after in a sentence.
Excellent, excellent. The words that come before and after the new words that we are teaching today or in our lessons. Very good. So if we don't have the meaning and we don't know the meaning and we don't have a dictionary, we can just read the statement or the context itself and guess the meaning from context. Very good. That's it. So one way to guess the meaning of new words is to try to guess the meaning or understand it through context, which is the what comes before and what comes after. Thank you very much. Look how the word is very versatile. It's very versatile. It has lots of meanings. 40% of the English words are like this. Okay, so let's move on to another question for you here. People who have raised their hands, just lower them. Okay, this is one rule of the session. Remember it very well. Just a minute, give me a second. All right. Another exercise here. These are the answers of the last activity. Okay, the first one is light color. The second one is reasonable decision. The third one is dry or sunny weather. The fourth one is long or considerable way. The fifth one is exhibition or show. Okay, so I have another exercise for you here. Give me a second. Okay, all right, I'll give you some expressions and I need you to tell me the meaning of the word fair in these 4 expressions. What does fair mean here? This is a bit different from the other activity because there is no context and you have to guess the meaning. How to do it? How to do this? You have good enough? Okay. So, okay, I'll help you. You have an appendix in your booklet, appendix number 1, and you can look through it and read the statements there, okay? Or if you have a dictionary, or maybe you surf the internet to find the name of the word fair in this expression, and then you tell me. Think a little bit first.
Which page, Miss Marwa?
All right, at the end, at the very end of the module here, I'll search for it just a minute. I'll have a look at it. Appendix number 1 is on page. Okay, I'll tell you just a minute. I
16.
have it
Yes,
here.
Miss Marwa, page
16, Miss.
16.
16. Yeah, it's page 16. That's it. I found it. It's on page 16. You can have a look at page 16 of the module in your booklet, and you will find some clarification. Or even you can surf the internet, or if you have a dictionary, so you can tell me the meaning or the exact meaning of the word fair in these expressions. Take your time. Number 1, reasonable, fair enough, fair. Think a little bit. My dear colleague, Master Isam, I'm calling you. If I'm delaying you and you have a session like me, you can go. Thank you very much. It seems that we are not trying to, we are not succeeding to get our learners into the breakout rooms right now, but it's okay. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, breakout rooms is not active. So, okay, Mr. Assam, it has been a great pleasure today and a great honor having you. Thank you very much for your support and help. And you made me very happy. You are welcome, my dear colleague. Thank you very much. You can go. Okay, God bless you and God help you in your session. I hope you have a successful session today. Thank you very much. Take care. So, dear colleagues, think a little bit and um, yeah, look
Miss
through
Marwa,
the
I
appendix.
can't find it.
You can't find the appendix? I have
Yes.
it. Okay, don't worry. I have the appendix here. Don't worry. I will put it on the
Can I answer,
screen. So,
Ms. Marwa? Can I answer?
yeah, introduce yourself, Mr. First.
Mr. Ayman Zain.
Yeah, Mr. Ayman, go ahead.
We use the fair enough when we want to say that a statement, decision, or action seems reasonable to a certain extent, but that perhaps there is more to be said or done.
Yes, thank you very much. That's correct. So fair enough, I say it. It means, thank you, Mr. Ayman, correct answer. So fair enough here is an idiom. It's an expression. Okay, you don't know the exact meaning, but the exact meaning is that this is reasonable. It's acceptable. I agree. For example, I don't feel like going out tonight as I've got a headache. Connection stopped, Mr. Abdelmanam. Connection stopped. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Miss.
Miss Marwa.
Okay, Mr. Abdelmanam, maybe you have a problem with the device you are using, or maybe you have bad connection today, or even leave the meeting and join again. It will be fixed, inshallah. Don't worry. Just try. Okay. So as we see in the example, I don't feel like going out tonight as I've got a headache. I have a headache. So fair enough. We will go another time. That's reasonable. I agree. It means I agree. Okay, see how the meaning is different from the meaning of the word itself. Fair enough, I agree. Actually, um, difficult for us to guess, right? Because we don't have a context. We even in the context, I guess it's a little bit difficult. What about the next one here? To be fair game. Fair game. When I say that something is fair game, someone is fair game. When I say that politicians are fair game.
Yes.
They are. Yes, go ahead. I see that Mr. Abdelmenam is raising his hand. To be acceptable in criticizing. Mr. Abdelmenam, you want to say something? Allah is great. Okay, think a little bit. To be fair game, what does it mean?
To accept criticism.
No, it is not. To be an acceptable target for criticism, attack, or ridicule. I mean, to be like something that I use as an example to criticize something. Oh my God, I found something to criticize. Oh, I found, come on, my dear friend, let's criticize our friend Noha. She's actually a fair game. She's fair game. So we can criticize her. We can attack her and make fun of her. Okay? So she is actually a target for criticism. A good thing, a good person to attack. Okay? So, as in the example here, I don't think the media should expose people's private lives. No, but I think that politicians are fair game. This person means that the politicians are all the time being criticized. They are all the time being attacked. No, this minister has done like this, and this is very bad, and he shouldn't have done this, and she shouldn't have done that. And we continue to criticize him and attack him and make fun of him, or even make fun of him. So this person is fair game. Did you get it? This is an expression which is, I guess, it's difficult. We have to learn it. So, what about the third one, which is a fair weather friend? This is a fair weather friend. He is not a friend in need. Very good. He is not a friend in need. Who has raised his hand? Mr. Abdelmanem again? Or somebody else?
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yeah, introduce yourself first because not all the time I see the names correctly.
Heba.
Yes, Miss Hiba?
A fair weather friend, not a good friend.
Not a
A
good.
friend, a friend
Mhm.
only in a friend not in need time.
Not in all times, you mean? He is not a friend in all
Yes, yes,
times.
not on all time. Yes.
What times he is he a friend in? He is good, not true friend, not true friend. Miss, very good, Miss Heba. Thank you very much. So Mrs. Samah says he is not true friend. He, somebody else said he is not a friend in need, so he is not a friend indeed. Do you know the expression or the proverb, the the very famous English proverb, which is a friend in need is a friend indeed. So when the friend is only a friend in ease, not in hard times, he is not my friend. When I have a problem, I don't find him. I call him, please help me. He doesn't. He's not there. So he is just a friend in ease. When I have no problems, I find him. We can go and have fun and do shopping and all these issues. But when I have a problem, I don't find him. So he is just a fair weather friend. He is not a true friend. He is not a friend indeed. Okay, I don't understand to be fair game. I'll say it again. Okay, when somebody, one of the ministers, Al Wazir, one of the ministers, the minister, okay, does something, does a project, expresses an idea, for example, and we start criticizing him. We start criticizing, saying bad words about him. start attacking him, start making fun of this person. Okay, so now we say that this person is a fair game. He is used, he is used by other organizations to be criticized, to be attacked. Okay, so people make fun of this person, so this person is a fair game. All right. You know, when someone does something and somebody use the camera to have a photo of this person while he is doing something, and they just post the picture or the photo on the Facebook, for example, and people start criticizing and attacking and making fun of him and laughing at him, this person is a fair game because he is being criticized and attacked and he's being made fun of like this. Okay, he's being laughed at, people criticize him, so we say that this person who is being photocopied or who is being, sorry, taken a photo of, actually he is a fair game. Is this meaning clear for the person who was asking? I hope it's clear now.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
All right, so let's move on to fair to middling. Again, it's a difficult expression. Study it, try to study it. Fair to middling. Fair to middling. Somebody has raised his hand.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yes, but introduce yourself, please. Moderately, okay. Moderately, not only, or it's not moderately only.
Okay, Miss Huda, it's not. It means that in middle, in the middle stage. For example, how's your Spanish? Fair to middle. It's not so good and it's not so bad. It's in the middle. It's half half.
Yeah, half half. Very good.
Yes,
That's
Miss
it.
Marwa.
Quite. Yes, yes. Who else? Thank you, Mrs. Hoda. Very good. Okay, go ahead. Who
Yes,
else?
Shaba.
Miss Heba, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, fair to middling between good and bad. It's a moderate between them.
Yes, that's it. Very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree with you. Something which is fair to middling, it's half half. Yeah, it's in between. It's not too good, not too bad. Yeah, okay. How is your Spanish? Fair to middling. How is the cake that I've made you? Fair to middling. How is my hair? How do I look? How is my new look? Fair to middling.
Very
Yeah, okay, is that clear? Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Okay, I will ask you one question now. Clear. All right. Thank you very much. How did you guess the meaning of this word? Or I need you to ask you another, I need to ask you another question. What's the meaning of the word fair only in these expressions? Can you tell me the meaning? Yes, Mr. Abdelmanem, it's average. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. What's the meaning of the word fair in these expressions? Can you tell me this? The meaning of the word fair only? Can you do something like this? Is it easy to do just average? Okay. The word fair in every expression, what does it mean? You don't know. Of course, you don't know. Why don't you know? Because we don't actually consider the meaning of the word fair only because this is an idiom, this is an expression, this is a figurative meaning. No, no, you can't say the meaning. Actually, it's not accepted. You can't say one meaning for this word. Yeah, no, no, it's not possible because we actually consider the meaning as a whole unit, the whole expression as one unit. We can't say that fair here has
Miss
yes,
Marwa.
miss. Okay, go ahead, I can hear you.
Yes. The meaning is bad.
The meaning, sorry?
Bad.
Bad? Bad? On all these expressions, the meaning is bad?
Miss,
Yes.
please, uh, can you
Uh-huh.
repeat the question again because I didn't hear it? The
Oh,
question.
all
What
right.
was the
The
question?
question, the question is, can you tell me the meaning of the word fair only in each expression? Can you get the meaning of the word fair only in these idioms? Is it possible?
No,
No. Why? Why isn't it possible? Because
because
this is not. Yeah.
you can't get the meaning separately. The word separately, you can't get the meaning if a certain word separately without what's before and what's after, which means the context.
This is not a context. This is an
Yes.
idiom.
Okay.
Yes, somebody said yes. The answer is correct here. Somebody wrote in the chat box because this is an idiom, and in idioms, Mrs. Hoda, it's difficult to find the meaning of this word, the actual meaning. No, we actually consider the meaning as a whole unit, the whole shape, the whole unit. Yes, very good. The whole unit. Okay, one unit. So what does the expression as a whole mean? I will tell you. It means I agree. Fair enough. I agree. This is the meaning. I don't tell you, I can't tell you that fair enough means blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know. The whole expression means I agree. Okay? To be fair game. What does the word fair here means in the expression or the idiom fair game? I don't know. I will not tell you. I can't. I don't know actually. I don't know. But I know the meaning of the whole expression that this person that I describe him as a fair game is a target for criticism. He is a person whose actions are always being criticized. I'm always making fun of him. I'm always attacking that person. So he is a fair game. I don't tell you. I can't tell you that fair here means blah, blah, blah. No specific meaning. Because, yes, Mr. Abdul Manam, no specific meaning because it's not an actual meaning. It has here a figurative meaning. A figurative meaning means it's not the literal meaning, not المعنى الحرفي. No, it's المعنى the figurative البلاغي. Okay, حاجة زيادة. Okay, something different, something that has to do with this specific or particular expression. This is an idiom. The whole meaning of the idiom is different from the meaning of the separate words that this idiom is made up of. Is that
But
clear, my
Miss,
dear?
okay, Miss, I can't understand the idiom outside its context, by the way. For example, if I say fair enough, what's fair enough? And the fair to meaning exactly, I can't understand it outside. I understand it after I read the sentence.
Yes.
I can't get the meaning outside its context. Because when I read the sentence, how is your Spanish tone first meaning, I understand the meaning there.
Yes, yes, I agree with you, Mrs. Hoda. Yeah, even in
Miss
idioms,
Marwa,
and we. Okay, thank you, Miss Hoda. I agree with you. Who else want to add something? Go ahead.
yes, the word change its meaning according to the context of the sentence.
Only according to the context, or according to maybe idioms that I'm using. I may use
Maybe
the word.
idiom.
Yeah, maybe I use idioms. Maybe I use collocations, but actually idioms in particular have different meanings from the meaning of every separate word. The separate words that form the idiom have certain meanings, but in the idiom, inside the idiom, this word has different meaning. You got the point?
Yes, Miss Mora. For example, I am over the moon. This means that I am happy. It had
Yeah,
nothing to do with its um,
the
separate
meaning of
meaning. Yeah, it's
that.
word.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's it. It doesn't mean that I am above the moon. Okay, no, I'm not above the moon or even the sun. No, it means that I'm happy, and this is figurative meaning. This is not the actual or the literal meaning. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the idea. But if you don't have the context and you don't have sentences to clarify the meaning, how would you understand the meaning? What would you do
From the
to
situation, Miss Mora.
if you don't have a situation? What would you do?
Use dictionary.
That's it. Yeah, excellent. That's it, Mrs. Amira. Use the dictionary. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes you can guess the meaning through context. Some other times you have to use the dictionary and get your students in class to use the dictionary. Teach them how to use the dictionary. Form groups and give them dictionaries and tell them to look up some words in the dictionary and tell each other about the meaning of certain words or certain words that are new to us in the lesson or in the syllabus. All right. Thank you very much. Let's move on to another activity, which is again very enjoyable. Today, the content of the module itself, like answering some activities and trying to conclude certain areas of vocab, how to deal with them inside class. Excuse time to pray. You have a break at 6:30, inshallah. We will all pray, inshallah, at 6:30. You have a break of, I guess, 15 minutes from 6:30 to 15 to 7. All right, like last time when we did this. Okay, Mrs. Ines. Thank you very much. So let's move on to another activity here. Again, it's very enjoyable. Now, do you remember the word fear? Do you remember them? Sorry, do you remember the word fair? Still, we have it. Okay, it's an example today to work on. So, in this table, we have lexical terms like compound nouns, prefixes, collocations, antonyms, parts of speech, synonyms, suffixes, register. And we have on the other column some words. Actually, you are supposed to complete the table with examples based on the word fair. You use the word fair, okay, to give me compound nouns that have the word fair. Actually, it is answered for you. It is written here. It's fair ground, fair way. Those are compound nouns based on the word fair. All right. So we have, you have to give me examples of words that have prefixes but based on the word fair. I need the word fair but add a prefix before it and form a word. Maybe you know some
Yes,
words
Miss
like
Marwa.
yes, go ahead.
Unfair.
Unfair. Yeah, what does the word unfair mean?
Not
Unfair.
fair. Not fair.
Not fair. Not fair. This is the opposite. Very good.
Yeah.
What is prefixes? What are prefixes?
Okay,
What
Miss
did you?
Marwa.
Yeah, go ahead. This is
A
what I.
syllable that comes at the beginning of the word in order it has a meaning or to add some information to the word or to change its category. No, I think it's dealing with the meaning. It's dealing with the meaning.
Very good.
For example,
Yes.
fair and unfair. It dealing with the deals with the meaning.
Yes.
It's a
Thank you very
syllable.
much. Yeah, a syllable, one syllable or two syllables that we put at the beginning of the word in order to change the meaning, maybe, or to change the form of the word. I mean, the part of a speech. The form is the part of a speech. So, like for example, happy, unhappy, legal, illegal, rich, enrich. It forms the word from noun to verb. For example, it changes the word from the meaning to the opposite meaning or the antonym, like happy, unhappy, okay, etc. So these are prefixes. What are collocations? And can you give me examples of collocations of the word fair? I mean, words that go with the word fair.
Fair decision, for example.
Fair decision. Thank you very much. That's one thing. Correct answer.
Miss Marwa.
Sorry?
Fair hair.
Fair game.
Fair enough.
Fair game.
This is an idiom. Fair hair.
Yes, Miss.
Fair
Yes.
game.
To
Fair
be
play.
fair.
Fair. Fair
To be fair.
play. Very good. To
To
be
be
fair,
fair.
what? To be fair. To be fair. Yeah. Yes, to be fair. Okay. Yeah, the verb to be with fair. Very good. Yeah, this is verb adjective collocation. Thank you very much. So these are fair way. Very good. Fair way. Again, this is not a collocation. This is a compound noun. Compound noun is different from collocation. Compound noun, when you put two words together and you just stick them together into just one word. So this is a compound noun like teapot. It's formed from tea and pot, but we don't separate them. We just stick them together into one word, which is teapot. Teapot. Okay. Fairground, fairway. This is compound noun, but collocations are separate words that go together, like catch cold. Okay, like have lunch, like make a mistake. Okay, do laundry. Okay, so based on the word fair, as you have just said, it's fair hair, fair skin, fair weather, fair day, a fair chance, fair play, etc. What are the antonyms? And can you give me examples of antonyms of the word fair?
Okay, Miss
What are
Marwa.
okay?
Unjust. Unjust.
Unjust. Yes, correct.
For
Yes, Miss.
example,
Unfair.
you need
Mr.
an
Yes,
example.
Unfair.
thank you very much, Miss. Mr. Who is it speaking now? Our male colleague,
Mr. Ayman.
Mr.
Ayman
Ayman, go
Zain.
ahead. Ayman Zinha. Okay. Hello.
Antonym is a word of opposite meaning. The word of
Yeah.
opposite meaning.
Yes.
The usual antonym of good is bad, for example.
Okay. Very good. Correct answer. Yes, the antonym of the word is the opposite meaning of this word. Very good. So as
Yes,
our friend has just yes,
yes,
miss.
Miss. Can I
Thank
say
you, Mr. Ayman. Sorry?
dishonest? Dishonest.
Dishonest. Yes, it's correct.
Illegal.
Dishonest.
Illegal.
Illegal. Maybe okay.
Impolite.
Impolite. Very good.
Divos.
I can't hear this.
Divos.
Dibus? What is it?
Divos.
Maybe just write it in the chat box because I can't
Impolite.
hear you well.
Impolite.
Impolite. Impolite. You mean impolite? Yeah. Cruel, maybe. Thank you very much. What are give me examples of parts of speech of the word fair? Different forms of the word fair. Different parts of speech of the word fair.
Okay, Miss
Fairly,
Marwa.
Yes. A male participant. Go ahead, Mister. Okay, I'm waiting. Parts of speech of the word fair.
Fearless.
Fairless.
Okay, Miss.
Fairness. Fairness. It's fairness. Yes. Who else? Fairly.
Okay, Miss.
Somebody fairly in the chat box. Yes. Correct answer. Go ahead.
Okay, for example, he is fairly short. Fairly short. And this is a
Fairly.
negative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fairly. Short. Fairly. Fairly. This is an adverb. Very good. Who else can help us here and volunteer to add something? Yes, as you have just said, fair. We can also use fairer, fairest as adjectives, okay, comparative adjectives and superlative. Fairly, adverb. Fairness, noun, very good. Fair, okay. So fair is a noun or adjective or even adjective. So give me examples of synonyms of the word fair. What are the synonyms in the first place? Tell me first, what are the synonyms?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Can I say decent? Equal.
Decent,
Clean.
yeah. Yes. Okay. Decent. Okay, you can
Generous.
say it.
Generous.
Generous, yeah, you can say that. Generous is a
Okay.
good synonym. What's the
Reasonable.
synonym? Reasonable. What's the synonym in the first place?
The same meaning. The same meaning.
Yeah, the similar meaning or the same meaning of this word. Another
Yes.
word that is the same meaning. Very good. So the synonyms of the word fair are, as you have just said, reasonable,
we can
Mm-hmm.
say beautiful. We
Light,
can say
maybe.
beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, correct. What else? Generous, gorgeous. Okay. Yeah, good. Decent. Thank you, Mrs. Samah. Yeah. All these things. Thank you very much. What about the suffixes? What are suffixes and what are some examples of suffixes
Okay,
used?
Miss Marwa.
Yeah, okay. Introduce yourself.
Miss Huda. Okay, suffix it's a syllable that comes at the end of the word in order to change its category. It deals generally with grammar and morphology. For example, fair and fairly. We add the syllable ly in order to change the word fair into an adverb.
Yes, very good. So the suffixes are a syllable or more that are added to the end of the word in order to do certain purposes or functions. Maybe it changes the meaning or the part of speech, the form of the word. Okay, like what? Like govern, okay? Governor or government, like this, organize, organization, useful. So give me examples of the suffixes used by the actually using the word fair or based on the word fair.
Fair and fairly. Fairly.
Fairly,
Fairness.
yes, fairly and
Fairness.
fairness. Exactly,
Fair.
exactly, yeah,
First.
definitely. Fairs, what is fairs? Fair is an adjective in the first place. Okay, so
I
it's
think this Marwa suffix deals with category of words in the first
yes,
sentence.
yes, actually, yeah, the category or the part of speech or the form we call them, any of these areas actually, or the names, the categories, the part of speech, the forms, yeah, all of these. So examples of suffixes of the word fair is are, fairly, fairness, fairest, fairgrounds. Mrs. Samah, fairgrounds. Fairgrounds are compound words. Compound word. Ground is not a suffix because it's not a syllable. And actually, this is a word in itself. The word ground is a word in itself, and it has meaning. And when we put it and stick it to the word fair, it forms a compound noun, not a suffix. All right.
Yes, Miss. Yes.
Okay. What about register? The last one, and this is very important today. Register. Register.
What this word mean in Arabic, Miss Marwa? Is it
Mhm. It means the style of the word or the speech or the language that I am using. If it is formal, informal, for example, maybe medical terms, maybe mathematical terms, geographical terms. So this is terminology. It's actually like this: the style of my speech, the style of my vocab, of my language that I'm using. Maybe I'm using a medical word. I use, for example, I can tell you hi, but I can also say welcome. Hi is informal. Hey guys, this is informal. And I may tell you, hello, hello everybody, best regards everybody. Welcome to our session, everybody. So this is formal speech, the formal way, formal style. Okay. Actually, we have three main categories of register inside our classrooms. Just three: the formal, and the informal, and the neutral. The formal is the words that we use in formal situations, okay, at school, at work, hospitals, etc. But in informal register, we use informal words, informal style of language. Like, for example, when I'm talking to my friend, when I'm talking to my family, okay, saying, I'm just having fun and saying informal words, friendly way, okay. But neutral register means that there are certain expressions or words that can be used in either ways. They can be used in formal situations and in informal situations. They can used in either ways. Okay, they can replace a word in the formal style, or we can use it in an informal style. It can go the two ways. It can go both. يعني. Okay.
For
So this is
example,
okay. I need you to give me the examples based on the word register. I gave you an example. I have just given you an example. Like when I say, for example, hey guys, if somebody is telling me about my opinion of something, for example, and he's my friend, and I will tell him, oh, that's rubbish. Do you think that I am a little bit impolite or rude? I may be impolite or rude, and this is a style, but I may also be informal. I'm just trying to be informal. I'm joking with my friend. Oh, that's rubbish. But maybe if my boss at work is asking for my opinion about this kind of issue, so I will reply saying, for example, oh, it's great. I like it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's great. I agree. But I can't say that's rubbish, because rubbish is a little bit impolite, rude, informal. So I have to put in mind the situation, the speakers, the relationship between the speakers, that sort of thing. So now you can tell me, or you can give me examples of register based on the word fair, or you will find it a little bit difficult to do it. I can provide you with the answer. Please be fair when you are talking. I will go to the chat box to see your
Miss
suggestions. I
Marwa,
know
I
that.
understand the meaning of register, the style of my speech. When we know who speak, we speak formal speech. But we don't know, we use informal language as we talking with my friend's father, for example.
Yeah.
But
uh,
I not understand fair in this situation. Using fair in this situation.
you will not understand it, of course, because you have to memorize, just memorize. You have to memorize or keep by heart by heart the expression itself. When I tell you, just a minute, I'll try to share the slide here, and you will see. Just a minute, Mrs. Hall.
Miss
I'll
Marwa,
I, I'll show you. Yeah,
we
Mrs. Amira.
we
Mrs.
can
Amira.
say fair enough as
Fair enough.
informal way.
Yeah. Okay, that's correct, actually. Yeah, it's correct. It's informal, fair enough. Yeah. And fair to middling is informal. You have to know this. Just a
Mhm.
minute. I'm trying to get this slide for you. I will get it for you. Just a minute. Okay. So can you see the slide here? Yes, you can. Look at the last one, the last answer, opposite to register. Informal examples are fair, fair enough, fair to middling. These expressions or idioms that we have just studied are informal. All right. Okay. So neutral, when I say fair game, to be fair game, this is neutral. What is neutral? Neutral is to use in formal situations and in informal situation. The same expression can be formal, and at the same time it is informal. You can use the expression in either ways, in the two ways. Okay. So be fair game is neutral, and fair with a friend is neutral, and fair, fairly, fairness are neutral. You can use them in any situation, whether it is formal or informal. The word fair itself is neutral. We don't know if it is formal or informal. It can be used both ways. All right. Okay, let's move on to another. If you have questions, just raise your hand or write in the chat box. Mrs. Hoda, you are raising your hand. Just lower
yeah.
it if you don't have. Okay, you are raising your hand. Just lower it if you don't have something to add or a question to ask. All right, I'll get you something here, which is again enjoyable. The aspects of the cab again. All right. We have seen that. Okay, just a minute. I'm trying to share something else. Yeah, I have to remind you that we have a break in 3 minutes. We have a break in 3 minutes to go and perform our prayers, maybe have a snack, maybe. When it comes to me, I never play fair games. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to this exercise. I have to ask you now, what are multi-word verbs? What are multi-word verbs? Can you see the slide?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
All right. What do you think? What
Okay,
do
I
we
think yes.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Okay, Miss Marwa.
I need Mrs. Fatima to speak. Unmute and speak. If you are the one who is asking us to speak.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it means is that the verb has several meaning if it comes with with
Yes,
the preposition. Any preposition comes after the verb. It change its meaning.
yes, when the verb itself, when it's alone or separate, it has a meaning. And when we add a preposition, it has a different meaning. Thank you very much. What else? Thank you, Mrs.
Okay.
Fatima.
Yes,
Okay,
Miss.
Okay. Introduce
Yes,
yourself and speak.
Miss Samah.
Mrs. Samah, go ahead.
Multi-word verbs are verbs made up of two or more words. These words
Yes.
are a verb plus a preposition or particle. They are
What is
often known as phrasal verbs.
very good? Very good. Yes,
Like
they are.
there are
Mhm.
a lot of examples like look, turn, go, sit, went, make, get. A lot of verbs.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. That's it. I have to ask you another question that about a word that our friend has just said. What is a particle? Our friend said that it's a verb that whose meaning is different when you just add the preposition or a particle. What
Article
is
or
a particle? What is a particle? Like what?
like
Certain.
Certain?
After and like.
Like.
Like? Look like?
Look after.
Look after? It's after? The
turn
particle is
on,
after?
turn off, turn on, get up, get
Up? The particle is up or on?
no.
Okay, I will tell you. So I agree that multi-word verbs are the phrasal verbs. Okay, they are made up of two or more words, maybe two or three words. The verb plus a preposition or the verb plus a particle. So particle is a word that is not actually divided or classified into the main classifications of parts of a speech we have. For example, it's not the verb. It's not another verb, we put the verb plus particle. So the particle is not another verb, is not another noun, it's not another adverb. Actually, it is an adverb. Sometimes it is an adverb. Yeah, it's a preposition or an adverb. The particle is a preposition or an adverb. Okay, so look here at the word look. It's a verb. Look, it means to use my eyes to see something, right? So if I put for, the preposition for, it means, what does it mean? Look for.
Search for something. Search for.
Very good.
Search.
Search for. Yes, very good. Search for.
Search for.
Yes, very good. Correct answer. What about look up?
Look up the
Look.
Use the
dictionary.
dictionary.
Use the dictionary.
Search for a word in a dictionary.
Yes, I search for the meaning of a word in a dictionary. Very good. Look up a word means that I use the dictionary to know the meaning of this word. Yeah. What about look after?
To take
Take
care of
care of.
someone.
Take care
Take
care
care of.
of something.
Excellent. Excellent. Take, yeah, excellent. Take care of. Like for example, when I say the mom or the mother looks after her children, the nurses look after the patients, for example. So look after is take care of. Thank you very much. What does look like mean?
The same.
Team.
Similar.
Similar.
The
Yeah,
same
yeah.
as.
The
Similar
same
to.
as, the same as or similar to, is similar to be similar to. Yeah, when I say that this girl, this daughter is sorry, looks like her mother, so she is similar to her mother, she's like her. Okay, so these are called phrasal verbs because they are made up of two or three or even or more words. A verb plus a particle, I mean a verb plus a preposition or an adverb. Thank you very much. That was very helpful. So let's move on to another activity here. Please mute yourselves, my dear colleagues, because this interrupts the session. Mute yourselves, my dear. Remember the rule of the session. Memorize. Memorize it. Don't forget it. Okay, let's move on to another activity again about the multi-word verbs. I have to introduce something here. Look at the statements in front of you. We have transitive multi-word verbs and we have intransitive multi. Okay, just a minute. What's the time now? What time is it now?
It's 6:30.
Half past
Okay,
6.
okay. Can we stop now to have a break in order to pray? To say the prayer? Yeah,
Yes.
time to pray. Yeah. Come back to me in 15 minutes. I will give you a break of 15 minutes to continue the session. Okay? So our inshallah time to be back is when you can tell me in order to make sure that you know when
Quarter
to come
to
back.
7. Quarter to 7 this morning.
Yes, quarter to seven. Quarter to seven. Yeah, go now. Go now. Take care. Take care. Thank you very much. Take care. Hello, everybody. We are back. Are you there?
Hello. Yes.
Yes,
All
Miss
right.
Marwa.
Okay.
Hello,
Yes.
Miss.
Okay. Happy to have you. Thank you very much. So let's go on to complete this session. We have here, have been speaking about multi-word verbs. I had to tell you just one more thing about multi-word verbs. Please mute yourselves. Oh my God, there is a baby who is crying. Hi, baby. What's wrong with you? Okay, mute yourselves. All right. So multi-word verbs are phrasal verbs, but phrasal verbs can be transitive and they can be intransitive. So study the examples. Oh my God, what's that? There is an echo. I can hear my voice again. Okay. So let's study the examples and tell me what transitive ones are, what intransitive ones are. Think a little bit. Mrs. Amira, you have raised your hand. Go ahead immediately. Unmute and tell us.
Okay. I will read the examples, Ms. Marwa,
Okay.
or talk about it in general.
You can do both.
Okay. A transitive verb is a verb that requires an object to complete its meaning.
Very good.
For example, they like, I can't say that and stop. No, they like games, for example. About
Okay.
it's my little Mariam.
Okay. Hello, Mariam. It's a great pleasure for us to have you, Mariam, here. All right.
Okay. In transitive verb,
Mhm.
It's a verb that it's complete itself. It doesn't need any objects to make its mean.
Excellent, excellent. So that's it.
Example,
Actually,
they run, and I can stop. Okay.
mhm, very good. Yeah, actually, I agree with you. You're completely right. Definitely, it's exactly as Mrs. Amira has just said. The transitive ones, the transitive phrasal verbs or the multi-word verbs that are transitive must have an object, okay? But intransitive ones, they don't need an object, like the examples here. But there is another question that I want you to answer. We have look up words, look words up, look them up. Can we say look up them? We can say, as you
Yes.
see in the examples, look upwards, it's correct. Look words up, this is correct. So the object can come after the multi-word verb, okay? And it can come, the noun can come between the two parts of this multi-word verb. When it is a pronoun, when the object is a pronoun, when exactly can we put the pronoun after the phrasal verb as a whole, or in between, I mean between the two parts of the phrasal verb?
In between
Look,
the two parts of the verse.
so look them up is correct, but look up them, is it correct
Is not
also?
correct.
No, it's
No, it's
incorrect.
wrong.
It's
It
not
is
correct.
yeah, that's it.
It's
It's
not
not
correct.
correct. Yes, yes, mister. Yeah, it is not correct. It's incorrect. It's wrong. It's wrong to say look up them in the dictionary, because if the object is a pronoun and we use
The
yourself,
voice isn't clear, Miss Marwa.
there is a lot of background noise, so mute yourselves. That's better, actually. Thank you very much. Yes, so there is something else again I want to tell you. There are certain verbs, phrasal verbs, I mean, or multi word verbs that are not separable. We can't separate them altogether. In the first place, we can't separate them. So, what about the verb get over? This is a multi-word verb or a phrasal verb. What does it mean? I will give you an example. I say, I have lots of problems, but I got over them all. I got over them.
Overcome. Mark.
Yes, excellent,
Overcome.
excellent, excellent. Yes,
Repeat it.
yes, my okay, those. It's overcome. This verb, this kind of phrasal verb, which is get over the problems or get over them, it is not separable. We can separate the parts of the verb. So even the object, even if the object is a pronoun, we can't put it in between. We can't put it between the parts of the verb. So we can't say get them over. No, we can say get over the problems or get over them. All right, this is something which is important, and you have to know it, and you have to tell it to your learners as well. All right, so let's move on to another activity which is very enjoyable. I want you to have fun today because most of the session is exercises with vocab, but we conclude certain facts. We come up with certain facts from doing the activity itself. So can you see the slide before your eyes? Is the slide clear? Okay, by the way, I have to tell you that this passage that I wanted you to read on page 5 of your booklet. It's on page 5 of your, yes, yes, as you are saying, yeah. It's on page 5 of your booklet. It's exercise 2-4. All right. So what you are going to do now is read the passage. Maybe the writing of the screen is not of the slide is not actually clear. So you can read it in your book, the teacher book you have on page 5. You read the passage, and there are certain underlined phrasal verbs. So we will later on discuss the meaning of every phrasal verb here, which is underlined in this passage. So you have 2 minutes to read the passage and think and guess the meaning of every phrasal verb which is underlined in the passage. You can start now. I'll give you 2 minutes. You to speak yourselves. Please mute yourselves, my dear colleagues. There is lots of background noise. Some people are raising their hands. Just wait a little bit because I have a table of questions. I have a table. You have to match the meanings. You have to match the phrasal verbs to their meanings. So wait a little bit until our colleagues finish reading. So I will share my slide here, which has the question. Just a second. All right. So this is a table. So all you have to do is match the verbs that are underlined in the text to their meanings on the other column. We have the phrasal verbs on the left, and we have the meanings of the phrasal verbs on the right, but they are not ordered, of course. They are not answered. Okay, you have to match the verbs to their meanings, but not here. I have a link, and you go there and you practice some kind of an enjoyable game. I want you to have fun today. So I myself will go and just a minute, I'm trying to paste the link in the chat box to go there and drag the phrasal verb to its meaning. So just wait a second till I paste the great link I have, because I like these digital tools very much. They are interactive. I'll paste the link in the chat box here. So go to the chat box. It's a web page which is called Word Wall. So press it or click on it and go there. You will find a list of colorful cards with the verbs, the phrasal verbs, and a list of the names of these phrasal verbs. All you have to do is drag the card, drag it, يعني نسحبه, okay? Drag the card and put it before the meaning which is best suits it or matches it. So I'll go myself and I will get your answers. This is interactive actually. I like it because it's interactive. We have some cards. Press play, okay? Just press play, okay? As if it's a video. Plus play. Have you got it? It's like a video on this page. Just press it in order to play this game. And you drag the card. You drag the card. نسحب الكرت. which has the phrasal verbs, and put it in front of the suitable meaning according to your understanding from the passage or the story. Can you do the task? Do you find it easy?
Yes.
Yes, Miss Maria. It's enjoyable, really.
Yeah, enjoy it. Okay, the link doesn't work, Mr. Isam. There is something wrong with your connection because our colleagues are enjoying it and we all have fun. We're having fun now. Try again, Mr. Isam. Try again. Why can't he? Why can't hear you? Hello, I can't hear you. You can't hear me, Mrs. Fatima. Mrs. Fatima Atallah, you are here. You can't hear me? What's wrong with your connection? It's a great honor having you here today. Thank you very much for being with me, Mrs. Fatima, my dear colleague. It's okay now. All right. Hello, how are you doing first? Okay, we are just pressing some kind of a link in the chat box and we are having some kind of a game, enjoying it to answer. Thank you very much, my dear colleague. It's a great honor having you. You are a wonderful trainer. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm now doing exercise number 2-4, and we have read a passage about phrasal verbs, having the phrasal verbs, and we are trying to match the phrasal verbs to their names in a game on the link which I have just pasted in the chat box. If you want to enjoy it, just go and enjoy it with us. I'm there myself, and I'll enjoy it. No, you are the one who is excellent. I have to tell you that. I admire you very much. So my trainees now are enjoying the game here on the link. Mrs. Rasha Fikri has finished. Excellent. I'll see the answers just a minute. Okay. Let's see who answered well and who got 100% of the correct answers. Have you finished?
Yes, Miss Maria.
Okay, let's see. Who got 100% of the right answers? Who got 100% of the right answers? Have you got them right all?
Yes.
Yes, Miss
Was it
Maria.
was it enjoyable for you?
Yes.
Very
Yes, it was
enjoyable.
very enjoyable.
All right, so let's share the slide here in order to revise our answers. All right, give me a second. Here is it again. Can you see the slide before you rise, guys?
Yes, Miss Maria.
Okay, so people who haven't succeeded in reaching the link because of some kind of bad connection, here is the exercise again, and here are the phrasal verbs on the left and here are the meanings on the right. So let's revise them and discuss them orally together. Number 1, went off. What's the meaning of this phrasal verb? The slide is so clear. Thank you very much, Ms. Fatima. Thank you very much. All right, so went off, what does it mean? Raise your hand and tell me.
Yes,
Yes, Miss
Introduce
Maria.
Bang.
yourself. Okay, just
Samah.
introduce yourself and speak. Mrs. Samah. Okay, go ahead.
The alarm clock went off at 6 o'clock a.m. Means rang.
Very good. So went off means rang. So no, one takes D. Very good. Thank you very much. What about the second one? Got up. What does it mean?
Marwa,
Yes. Yes,
it's
introduce
Marwa,
yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
it's Rasha.
It's Rasha. Yeah. Great to have you.
Thanks. Got up means go out of bed.
Yes, got
G.
out of. Yes, G. Very good. Correct answer. Thank you very much. What about number 3?
Yes,
Yes, Miss Maria.
yes, Miss Maria.
Okay. Introduce yourself and speak.
Eva?
Miss Hiba, go ahead.
Pick me up, come and pick me here.
Yeah, pick me up. Just okay. Okay, there is a lot of background noise. Please mute yourself. Mute yourself. Okay, pick me up to come. What is it? Yeah, come and take me with her. So three takes E. Very good. Correct answer. Thank you very much. What about number four? Sit off. What does it mean?
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
departed or left.
Arrived and registered at the airport.
Sit off. Sit off.
Arrived and registered at the airport.
Think again, Mr. Who is it?
Ayman.
Mr. Ayman.
Depart or
Think,
left.
think again. Yeah. Departed. Who is speaking? Introduce yourself before you speak.
Miss
Yes, Miss Mom.
Mrs. Fatima.
Sit off, lift the ground.
This is Mr. Abdul Majid. I know your voice, so, even if I don't see the name, but I know your voice. Set off, yeah. Set off means departed or left. Correct answer, of course. Thank you very much. So number five, turn it up.
Yes,
Miss
Marwa.
Marwa?
Go
Arrived.
ahead.
Arrived.
Arrived. Thank you very much. Yeah, arrived. That's it. What about number six? Number six.
Yeah,
Yes, Miss
Yes.
Maria.
please.
Arrived and registered at the airport.
Arrived. This is Mr. Abdul Manam, right? Am I right?
Ayman.
Mr. Ayman, checked in, arrived,
Arrived
and
and registered
registered.
at the
Yes,
airport.
correct. Yeah, correct. That's correct answer. Yeah, exactly. So checked in is arrived and registered at the airport. Very good. What about number seven? Looking forward to.
Yes, Miss.
Waiting
Yes.
With pleasure.
with pleasure.
Awaiting
Yeah.
with pleasure.
Yes. Very good. Yeah. As you are saying. Yeah. Correct answer. So awaiting with pleasure. Please mute yourselves. There is a lot of background noise. My dear colleagues, mute yourself. This actually interrupts the session. So what about the last one, which is talk of
Left the ground.
Left the ground.
the ground? Left the ground.
Hit the
Yeah,
ground. Yes.
yeah, correct. Very good. Yeah, very good. I have to ask you some more questions on these verbs. Number one, which verbs have two words? Which of these words have two words only? Which of these verbs are made up of two words only? Babies, children, kids, nice kids. I love them.
Okay, Miss.
Mute yourselves. Okay, go ahead.
Went, sit, took, got, turn, check.
Tell me the whole phrasal verb. Say it as a whole, not just one
Went,
word.
went off.
Yeah, this is one.
Okay, sit off.
Set off. Very good.
Turn it up.
Yeah,
Checked in.
yeah,
Took off.
exactly. Turn it up.
Got up.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. And which verb has three words? Which verb has three words? Of these verbs, I mean. Look at the verbs.
Okay, Miss. Looking
Yes,
Yes,
forward
Miss.
to.
yes. Who said it? Who answered? Just introduce yourself
Huda.
because I don't.
Miss Huda.
Mrs. Hoda.
Miss
Great,
Huda.
great. Yeah, great, Mrs. Hoda. Okay. Looking forward to is a phrasal verb that is made up of three words. Thank you very much. Okay, which verb takes an object? Which verb takes an object of these verbs?
Picked me up. Look
Okay.
forward to.
Pick me
Take.
up. Very good. Take.
Look forward
Do we
to.
have look forward to? Yeah, okay. You look forward to a cup of tea, look forward to seeing you, look forward to a visit to the Nile, for example. Okay, it takes an object, though it is inseparable. This verb is inseparable. You can separate the parts, all right? This is an example of the kind of verbs that I've just told you about a while ago. Looking forward to is inseparable. We can separate it. Right, okay. So It has been very actually helpful here. You have to complete a statement. You will find it in your book list, which says that the words, the phrasal verbs, or the multi word verbs are verbs made up of blah, blah, blah. Complete the statement. They
Yes,
are made
miss.
up of, yes, go ahead.
Okay. Multi-word verbs are verbs made up of two or more words. These words are a verb plus a preposition or a particle. They are also known as phrasal verbs.
Excellent. They are also known as phrasal verbs. Excellent. Thank you very much. That was great, actually. So let's move on to another exercise here. We have to discuss the learner errors, and I want you to think of the errors that you make when you are using vocab and the errors that you make or your learners make when they are trying to learn new vocab. What are these errors? Okay, think a little bit.
Okay, miss, please the question again.
The question is on the slide here. I've just shared it before your eyes. What are the typical vocabulary errors that you or your learners make? And I need you to tell me, why do you make these mistakes? Or what are the reasons behind making these errors or mistakes? Why do you make mistakes while you are using vocab? And what are these mistakes? What are the mistakes that your learners make concerning the vocab and the use of vocab? And what are the reasons behind their making of this kind of error or mistake? All right. So think, tell me. You have maybe 2 minutes to think about it. Take your time before you speak. Meaning, maybe an error on meaning, they don't know the meaning. Yeah, this is one thing.
Miss, but what about the idea of the
Mhm.
teacher to make a mistake during the classroom? I think that the teacher prepare his lesson carefully, so um, I can't
May I
imagine
ask
this.
you? You can't imagine it that he doesn't make mistakes because he has
Okay,
prepared very well.
yeah. I don't
Okay,
know about. I don't speak about imagination, but
he
it doesn't work
he
to
shouldn't.
make a mistake. Yeah, he shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, may I ask you a question?
Okay. So
Am I not your teacher here? Of course, I'm
yes, yes.
a fellow teacher like you. Okay, but I'm here. Am I not a teacher here?
Okay. You are our
Don't
dear
you?
teacher, in fact.
Okay, thank you very much for this compliment. Thank you. But don't you notice that while I'm speaking, I make lots of mistakes?
I think it's not on purpose. You know.
It's not done purposely, it's not done on purpose. Yeah, I know. So, but I make mistakes. But
Yes.
everybody make mistakes.
Okay, because
I
this is humane. To make mistake is humane.
remember when we spoke about errors and mistakes and making mistakes sometimes because of the lack of maybe I'm not concentrating, so lack of intention. This
Mm.
was I needed you to tell me this reason behind making the mistakes. Try to remember. So I'll ask you the question again. Think of the typical vocab errors that you and your learners make, and you have to tell me some reasons for these errors. Some people wrote wrong pronunciation. Okay. I may make mistakes in the pronunciation of the verbs. All right, I agree. And I myself make this kind of mistakes. I'm
Mm.
still learning myself. Give me more examples of the errors that I and my learners make. Take your time and give me examples of more mistakes that you and your learners make while you are teaching and while you are learning and everything. Wrong meaning, maybe. Okay. Confusing words. Okay. Multi-word verbs, they confuse between the multi-word and the collocations, maybe. Good answer. Lift and lift, you mean the spelling, collocations, yeah. Excellent. Yeah, I agree with all these things. Suffix and prefix. Very good. By the way, I have to tell you that the suffixes and prefixes together we call them affixes. Affixes. So the prefixes and suffixes are called in the language are called affixes. So what are the affixes? The affixes are the suffixes and prefixes together. Confused words, you mean confusing words. Somebody has raised his hand. Whoever he raised his hand, just go ahead, unmute yourself and introduce yourself and speak immediately. Yeah, I can see some people raising their hands. Sometimes one of our own students make these mistakes. I can see the rest of the answer. I will go to the chat box to read. So I think that some people have raised their hands. Who's raising his hand? Just unmute and tell us.
Hello, Mrs. Marwa. Can I add something, please? A
Oh
question
my
that
God.
has been raised by one
Just
of
a
our
minute, just a
colleagues
minute. Just a
that,
minute, just a minute,
hello?
Mrs. Fatima. I have to introduce you first to my trainees. So, my dear trainees, this is my dear fellow trainer, Mrs. Fatima Atallah, who is excellent and better than I am. She is a wonderful kind of trainer, and she has to tell you something. And of course, I welcome you. It has been a great honor having you today. It's I don't know, I'm over the moon today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs.
Go
Marwa. You
ahead.
are one of the best TOT. Thank you, and you are one of the honest and so keen about your own colleagues. Thanks a lot. I'd like to add something concerning the question said by one of our colleagues that why the teacher might make mistakes. Well, he is supposed to be well prepared with the lesson, and I have written here in the chatting box. Sometimes you can find one of your own students bringing some idiom for you, some idioms for you, which is either new one or it has been taken away from your memory and you can remember it any longer. So sometimes you can make some errors. And to err is a human, yani it's okay. It's
Mhm.
acceptable for you as a teacher to, for example, to say, "Oh, I must check it," and in such a way, I'm teaching my own students to be honest and to know how to make a stop and say, "Hey, I'm going to check." Then I will present it later on, and so on. We're giving them a model in such a way. So to err is something natural for human beings, and different reasons can make the teacher, despite being well prepared, commit such mistakes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That have been very helpful and useful for us. Yeah, this is a great notice or a great note you are making. A great point you touched on. Actually, yeah, making mistakes means that the is humane. We are humans making mistakes all the time. Maybe because I'm concentrating while I'm producing language, so I make mistakes because I have lots and lots of ideas in my mind that I want to convey to my students. So I make my mistakes producing the language and conveying my ideas. So we have slip of the tongue. We have lots of factors that affect me while I'm producing the language and using vocab. So I need you now to give me more suggestions about this, about the kind of mistakes that you make inside classroom and the kind of mistakes from your experience in the teaching context as a whole to that your learners make. Okay, of course you can tell me about that, but also think about the reasons for these errors. Why do they make these why do they make these errors with vocab? Okay, thank you very much, Miss Fatima. That was very helpful. Thank you so much. Okay, can anyone tell us another idea here about making
Okay,
mistakes with
Miss.
vocab? Yeah.
Yes, Miss. Okay. When we
Okay.
deal with confusion, for example, confusion, one of the reasons is confusion. When you are confused of some vocab, you make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, lack
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead. Go on. Yeah, maybe you're breaking up. Your voice,
Yes,
your
Miss Marwa.
yeah, yeah. Okay, can't hear you, Mrs. Huda. You just cut off. You cut off.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Miss
Yeah, Miss Heba, go ahead.
Learners maybe have a confusion about the meaning of the words as two and two.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's one thing. Thank you very much, Mrs. Heba. Okay.
Yes, Marwa.
Yeah, go ahead, Mrs. Fatima.
I think learners can make mistakes in meaning if they have choose the wrong word or the wrong meaning. They wanted to express themselves. They can choose the wrong word.
Yes, they want to express themselves and communicate, so they make mistakes. Okay, that's one thing. Thank you very much. What else? Okay, I will give you an exercise having, I guess, a number of 10 statements, and there are mistakes in vocab in these statements, and you have to correct them and tell me what are these mistakes and why do the learners make these mistakes. Okay, like confusion, as you've just said, grammar mistakes. Yes, Mr. Abdelmanam, that's it, grammar mistakes, maybe. Okay, so just a minute, I'm trying to share the slide here, and you have to look at the statements and decide what's wrong with them and how can we correct them, what are the reasons behind making such kinds of mistakes, etc. So here is the slide. So you can read the statements. So, Mrs. Fatima, these are the statements, and our colleagues can read the statements, and we need to get them into the breakout rooms. I wish that this succeeds this time because I have a problem with my lab today. I'm using the cellular, and I don't have this option on the cellular device with me. So if you just allow us to help us on this, that would be very generous of you, Miss Fatima Allah.
Thank you, Mrs. Marwa. Actually, from the moment I've joined you, I've tried different times to find the option of breakout rooms to be given to me, but because I am not the controller, I cannot. Yani, it's not appearing that I can divide them, despite that in other
Yeah.
cases I can do it on laptop. But because I'm not the one who is presenting it, and I'm not co-partner of presenting, I didn't find this option here. No?
So yeah, Mr. Isam also tried at the beginning of the session, but he told me that he is not the co-organizer. I tried to make him the co-organizer, but I didn't find an option with me on the device, the cellular device. And I tried also to find the breakout rooms. The button itself is not active, so we can't. He didn't actually manage to do it. So if it is so, don't worry, it's okay. We can even have a choral discussion here. Okay, but actually there has been a good chance to have you today.
Thank you, Ms. Marwa. I wish that I can help, but actually I've tried from the very beginning. I've entered, but the option is not here because not I'm not a co-partner for you to present it. You know.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Sorry.
I understand. I fully understand. Thank you very much. And
All
please
the
follow
best.
me till the end because I'm
Of
happy
course,
you have. Yeah,
of course.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All the best. All the
Okay,
best.
thank you very much. So, my dear colleagues, now back to the slide and the exercise. What's wrong? You will read the statements and identify the errors in the sentences, and we will together discuss why the learners may have made these kind of mistakes. Okay, so you have maybe 5 minutes to prepare yourself and find the mistakes, and then 5 minutes again to discuss or have a choral discussion about the kind of mistakes and the reasons behind making these mistakes. Go ahead, read the statements, take your time, and we are back together in 5 minutes. You may write in the chat box as well.
Okay, Miss.
All right.
Okay,
Who
Miss.
is it? Who is
Miss Farah
speaking?
Hussein,
Eva.
concerning sentence number one,
Yeah.
grandmother is afraid of big dogs, but she likes short ones. Okay, we have the word big dog, and the opposite is small dogs, not short dogs.
Yes. So the word short here, which is not clear on the slide, actually, I don't know why. Okay. The statement, I'll read it again. Grandmother is afraid of big dogs, but she likes short ones. So you say the mistake is in short. It's not short. It's what? What did you say? Say
Small.
it again. Small
The
ones.
opposite of big is small one. Yes.
Very good. So this mistake is a mistake with the antonym, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the learner here doesn't know the right choice of the antonym. He doesn't know that the opposite word of big is small, not short. He writes it short by fault, okay, by
Yeah.
mistake. What about the second one? Let's read it together. Who can read it and tell us?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Okay, okay, go ahead, Miss
Sameh.
Fatma. Miss
Sameh.
Samah, oh, Mrs. Samah, okay.
Number two, he was wearing a half sleeve shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the wrong in a half sleeve.
Yes. What
We
is
can
it?
say casual shirt.
A casual shirt. That's
Yes.
right. What else?
I think it's informal language.
Informal language. Do we say it in English? A half sleeve shirt. A
No.
half sleeve. Can you
Can say
translate it into Arabic, please? Translate it
نص
into
كم.
نصكم.
نصكم. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
نصكم. Okay, in
Yeah.
Arabic we have نصكم. Do we have نصكم in English again?
Casual shirt.
Casual shirt. Okay, what do the English people or even the Americans use another word? Actually, they use
Short.
another word here. What's the other word
Shirt.
to be?
T-shirt.
Sorry.
T-shirt.
Short sleeves.
Yes, I heard it. Short sleeve shirt. Very good. So I can replace it by I can replace it with short sleeve shirt. He was
Or T-shirt.
wearing
T-shirt.
t-shirt, yeah, a t-shirt, a casual shirt, a short sleeve shirt. So what kind of error or mistake here? What can we call this from your
Yes,
memory, Mrs. Ami?
Translation
language
Miss.
interference.
Mother tongue, you use your mother tongue and you translate it.
Excellent. Yes, I heard two right answers. One said it's mother tongue
Language.
and it's language and language interference. Please mute yourselves. Hey guys, mute yourselves please because you have lots of background noise here and you are interrupting actually the session. Okay, so I heard two correct answers. The first one is own or mother language interference, and this is correct. This is the typical answer. And also they are just trying to translate literally. The literal translation is wrong here. So the correct one would be a short sleeve shirt or a t-shirt or a casual shirt, things like this. Very good. What about number three?
Okay, Miss.
All right,
Yes, Miss.
Mrs. Amira, go ahead.
Miss Marwa,
Yeah, I will
It's
listen to
wrong.
Mrs. Amira and I will listen later on to our male colleague. Okay, Mrs. Amira, go ahead.
Yes, Miss Mark. The sentence said that she gave me some advices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course, the wrong is advices. It's uncountable noun.
Very good. What should it be?
Advice, some advice.
Some good advice. Okay, so there is a confusion here over using the uncountable noun and making actually a plural. using it. So we don't form a plural using the uncountable words by adding the s at the end. But how do we form plurals using when we are talking or using the words that are uncountable nouns? If I have an uncountable noun, Mr. Abdul Manam, you are raising your hand. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. I'm listening. If you have something to add, go ahead. I need a male participant. Good advices should be
Okay.
good advice or a piece. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of noise again. Mute yourselves. Lots of background noise. Okay. So some good advice. That's it. Or as you have just written in the chat box, some good pieces of advice. Okay. Some good pieces of advice. What do we call this error? This kind of error. What do we call it?
Grammatical error.
Okay, yeah, it is a grammatical kind of error.
Mm, we
Yeah,
can say
it's
overgeneralization.
excellent.
Miss Marwa.
Overgeneralization. Excellent. Okay, my learners may think that any word can be put into plural by just merely you putting or adding the s at the end of the word, but they don't remember that we have uncountable nouns that are not put in the plural form like this. We have to add some things that are countable words or actually like pieces, the word piece, okay, which is used to count. All right. So this is of course a grammatical error and has to do with overgeneralization. He just generalizes the rule itself of forming the regular plural. So this is not a regular plural because it's uncountable noun. So moving on, we have number 4. Let's do it together. I prefer light tea to strong tea. Okay, a
Yes, Miss
male
Marwa.
participant. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Miss.
I prefer light tea to strong tea. Not
Mhm.
strong, but heavy.
Okay, Miss.
I can't hear actually. What did you say, my dear colleague, Mrs. Hiba?
Yes, I prefer light tea to strong tea. Not
Mm-hmm.
strong, but heavy.
Heavy.
Okay, Miss.
Mm,
Dark tea.
dark tea.
Miss
Mm-hmm.
Marwa.
Black tea.
Mm-hmm.
Mr.
Black.
Abdelmajid, Miss Marwa.
Mr. Abdelmajid, okay.
I prefer light tea to tough tea.
Tough tea. Mm-hmm. Yani, is strong the right choice here? The problem with strong? Actually, the
Yes.
problem is not with the word strong. Strong is correct. The word strong is correct. Actually, you used other correct words. Okay, I agree. But the wrong word here is light. And try to tell me why it is wrong and what to put instead of this word, which is light. What to replace it with. Light is the wrong one here. Why is it wrong? And what to put instead.
Yes, Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Mrs.
I say, Miss Sameh, can I say
Mr.
I prefer weak tea?
Excellent. So this is what actually the native speakers use.
Means,
This is the
means
right word.
green tea. Means green tea.
Yes, I prefer weak tea to strong tea. While light tea is translated, please, light tea.
شاي
I want
خفيف.
to hear the Shay Khafif. Yeah, this is mainly Arabic. This is mainly Arabic. So again, this kind of error, what we call it? We have two kinds.
Register.
Is it register?
Translation.
Informal language.
We will talk about register again and again and again, and I have clarified this and elaborated on it one time, but I will do it again when we reach the statement which has register. But again, it's what I haven't
Miss Marwa.
heard the answer. Yes.
We can say all language
Literal
interference.
language. Literal language.
I heard Mrs. Amira saying own language interference. I agree with you. That's correct. What else? He is confusing over antonyms and collocation. Okay? He doesn't know what's the antonym or the right antonym to the word strong. Is it light? Is it weak? Is it blah blah blah? Okay, so mainly this error is own language interference and maybe confusion over the antonyms and collocations and that sort of thing. All right, so let's move on to the fifth one here. We have a discussion about the matter, but we misagreed. Who is the first one who raised his hand? Somebody else? New hands? I need new participants, new hands.
Yes,
All of you should participate today.
Yes, Miss.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
miss.
Mrs. Fatma.
Okay.
Mhm.
Disagree.
I think we had a discussion about the matter, but we disagreed.
Yes. So what's wrong with this word?
Okay, miss.
So
Okay, miss.
the correct, Mrs. Fatima had just said that the correct answer or the correct word is disagreed. So okay, very good, Mrs. Fatma. I need somebody else to tell me what kind of error is this. Yes,
Yes, Miss
Mrs. Huda.
Marwa.
Yeah, go ahead, Miss. But I heard Mrs. Huda was trying to add something.
Yes, miss. Okay, he used the wrong prefix.
Yes, wrong choice of prefix. Yeah, wrong prefix. Very good. So this is wrong prefix. He doesn't know the correct prefix to choose here. Very good, because he knows that some prefixes that turn the word or the verb into the opposite or the antonym is miss and this and il and blah blah blah, that sort of thing. So he just forgets and is confused over the two kinds of the prefixes, miss, this, etc. So the correct one is, as you have just said, disagreed. Very good. What about number six? Just as we set out, there was a big downfall of rain. Just as
Okay,
we
miss.
set out, who is it?
Miss Huda. Okay, miss. I think
Miss
it's
Huda?
just as we set off, there was a big downfall of rain. Okay, here the mistake is in the phrasal verb sit out. It's not sit out, it's sit off.
Okay, I have to tell you that sit out and sit off, they are the same. They are both correct. And there is another wrong word here in the statement, so read it again and think again. What?
Downfall. Is it downfall?
Yeah. What's wrong with it?
A big fall of rain. I think.
A big fall of rain, maybe. What else? Downfall means that something is falling. Okay.
Decline of someone. When we are talking about personality, for example, in
Yes,
Afway, we are
it
talking
means the
about his
decline.
decline. Yeah,
Very good.
this means
This
downfall.
this yes, downfall means decline of a person or of a civilization or anything.
Yeah,
A fall. Okay, it's a fall. But here we're speaking about water, about the heavy rain. What should we use here?
You
I
can
can't
use
hear
the
you, Miss Maro.
rainfall.
Sorry,
I can't hear you.
there is something wrong with my voice. So, guys, can you
Yes,
tell me or assure me you can hear me well?
Miss Maru.
we can't
Yeah,
hear you
Miss
actually.
Maru.
yes, I'm here. Can you hear me
Can we
well?
use uh,
Yes.
can we use a big rainfall?
A big rainfall? All right. Okay, I will tell you about a suggestion here. You can use a big downpour of rain. Downpour. So this is the wrong compound noun. This is the wrong choice of compound noun. He just maybe he doesn't know the word in the first place. altogether. He doesn't know the word or the right word, or maybe he confuses over the use of the compound nouns. Which one to use here? Okay, so what about number what? It is seven? Yeah, it's seven. The teacher expects us to work hardly. I need a male
Yes.
participant before you say anything. A male participant to be just, to be fair. The verb fair today is the star of the session. To be fair, I need a male participant, our male colleagues.
The
Come
teacher
on.
expects us to work hard.
Yes, can you just, Mr., introduce yourself?
Ayman Zain.
Yes, Mr. Ayman. The teacher
The
expects
teacher
us to.
expects us to work hard, not hardly.
Yeah. So what's wrong here? What kind of mistake here?
Hardly is a mistake. Hardly. The right is hard.
Yes. So we can.
Grammatical mistake.
It's a
Work
grammatic.
hard, not work hardly.
Okay, I know you said it right. Yeah, it's work hard, not work hardly. There is a problem with the form of the adverb. So this is a
Yes.
grammatical mistake. Okay, can we call it overgeneralization again?
Yes, Miss Mar.
Yes, because how?
Uh,
Overgeneralization.
added the ly to form the adverb.
Yeah, the general rule is adding the ly to the adjective in order to form it into an adverb, all right? So quick is turned into quickly, for example, happy, happily, etc. But hard, he doesn't know that there are exceptions to the rule. He just overgeneralizes it and overuses it, adding ly to whatever adjective he has. But no, no, this is wrong, and it would be to work hard. Thank you very much. Let's move on to number 8. As John got into the bath, he cracked his cranium on the cupboard. As John got into the bath, he cracked his cranium on the cupboard. Who's raising his hand because I can't see the names fully? Just introduce yourself and tell us. Unmute and tell us. What's wrong with the statement? What's the wrong word? What kind of error? Why should they do this kind of mistake, maybe? His cranium on the cupboard. John got into the bath. He cracked his cranium. Cranium. What's this strong word? Cranium. What is cranium in the first place? hmm You don't know it in the first place?
Yes, what this word mean? What does this word mean?
This word means the skull. The skull. But why does this person choose this kind of word here? Yeah, skull. This word is medical. But
Mm.
we are speaking generally here. He's not speaking in a hospital to use this word. So this is a mistake,
Register,
or
Miss Marwa?
yeah, excellent. This is register. This is a medical term, and we need general English maybe. We are not in a hospital here, so he has to use a general word that is the same meaning, but not the same style, not the same register. So not medical. I need a word that is not medical. Okay, I need a
We need,
word which is skull. Yeah, it's a skull. So I
okay,
should say, uh-huh.
when we speak, we need something to deal with the colloquial language.
Colloquial. Colloquial again, we can call it register also. Yeah, colloquial and slang language. Okay, can you, Mrs. Hoda, tell us about the colloquial expressions? Some of them, what are they, and what's the equivalent in the general English that we use in writing and informal speaking? Can you tell
It,
us about some colloquial expression, just one expression?
It's this expression that we use in everyday language in the street. Because okay, we don't need to be very formal because we teach English. We teach everyday language. We don't teach formal language. When we deal with writing, we deal with formal language. But in our speech, we are informal in general.
Okay, you mean
There
that
is some
you are,
echo.
Mhm.
There is some echo, so I'm confused. Okay.
There is some echo here
Yeah.
from coming from my voice here. Okay, Miss. Actually, I agree with you. When we are actually, but we are at schools. We use formal English. What's wrong with it? We can use formal English, but in general, when we are in informal situations, we may use spoken expressions like "I'm gonna go," which is "I am going to go." I wanna do this or do that, which is "I want to do this or that." I have to. I have to go. It means I have to go, but in a spoken language, in a very informal language, we turn it into gonna, wanna, have to. But actually, we don't use these expressions in writing. Okay, in formal situations, official organizations, academic writing, we don't use colloquial or slang language or informal expressions. We need more formal words or expressions. But here in the statement, which is number 8, the word which is cranium is medical. It's used with doctors. So we are not doctors here. We are normal people, very normal people. So we need normal English. Okay, general English, not terminology. So the right word is skull, and this kind of error is register. Register, right? May I ask you? Yeah.
Can I say crack his head?
Yes, you can say it. Cracked his head.
Okay.
Okay. He hit his head. He hit his head, and that's all. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Number 9, she had no fixed plan and decided to play it by ear. She had no fixed plan and and decided to play it by ear. What's played by ear?
By ears.
Yeah, it's by ears, but I forgot to put this.
Okay, I think that he talks about lucks. Luck. He's after luck. He doesn't study a plan or put a plan
Very
for
good.
something, but he let it for luck.
Yeah,
He
he
think
he
that he think that he's lucky.
he just leaves it without plans. He
Yeah.
doesn't plan for anything. Yeah, so he just plays it. What's wrong with the statement here? Can you pick up the
Expression.
idiom?
The
The
expression
expression
itself
is
is
wrong.
is strange. Yes, strong. It's wrong.
Uh, Okay, I'll tell you something. Actually, this there is an idiom which is to play by ear. It's called, or the right form of it is play by ear. So here it's used incorrectly. It's not used properly. It's just there is a mistake in the use of it. So there are some kinds, or sometimes we or our learners make mistakes with the use of idioms. All right. So here the idiom is play by ear. Play by ear. It's not play it by ears. No, this is the wrong form to use here. This is the right form. Okay, but it is, yeah, it's similar to the right form of the idiom, which is play by ear, which means I have no fixed plan, so I just leave it as it goes. All right, as it goes, no fixed plan. All right. So what about number 9, 10, and last one? Number
Yes,
10.
miss. Okay, miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Another participant, a new hand, a new participant, a male participant. A male participant, unmute and tell us immediately. Mm-hmm. Ladies one. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Anybody?
Okay,
Yes,
Miss.
Miss Mar.
All right.
She was sad yesterday, but has got it over now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course it's wrong. Got it over.
What's wrong with it?
The object only goes after the verb
Why?
because it's a multi-word verb.
Mainly because it's a multi-word verb. I told you that multi-word
Okay,
verbs
Miss. Okay,
we
Miss.
can
You said that we can't separate got and over. They go together, and after them come the opposite.
excellent, excellent. So yes, as Mrs. Amira has just said, it's the
My
right
name is
word.
Miss Hoda. Hoda, Miss
I know, Wallahi, Mrs. Huda, I know, but I want to say that as Mrs. Amira said, yeah, it said it the right way. It's got over it. It's got over it. But the why should we put it like this is that it is not separable. Yes, as Mrs. Hoda has just said, yeah, it is inseparable. We can't separate it, putting the adjective, the pronoun or the object, even if it is a name or a pronoun. We can separate the parts of the verb, which is a phrasal verb. Some certain, as I've just told you a while ago, that certain phrasal verbs cannot be separated. So it's got over it, not got it over. It's got over it. Okay, because this certain verb or this particular verb, yeah, it is not separated. It is not separated. Other verbs can be separated. Like what? I gave you an example of this. Give me an example. It's your turn now to
give
give
it
me an
up. Give
look
it
up.
up.
Give
Yes,
it
Miss
up.
Mar.
Look it up.
Take me up.
Yes. Take me up. Pick me up. Pick me up. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Let's move on to another activity. This activity took much from us, but it deserves, yeah, it's worthy. Lots of discussion here. Thank you very much. And you
Miss
are cooperative.
Marwa, okay. Listen here.
Yes, Mrs. Hoda, what's wrong? Just go ahead
Okay,
if you have.
I have a question from the beginning of the meeting. Okay, what the link between these modules and the classroom? Okay, I think there was some hint in this exercise concerning the mistakes that the student do learn do make, sorry, mistakes that students make inside the classroom. But I think what we have done today with deals with the academic language. Okay, you
Excellent,
understand me?
excellent,
So
excellent question. And as usual, Mrs. Hoda, you actually you just tell us about questions that are very important. You are raising here a question which is very important. You are telling us that we are using today how to deal with vocab, the wrong word, the phrasal verbs. Are you coming here to teach us vocab? No, we are teachers and we have to have methodology. So look at the slide on the screen. This is the answer. How knowledge of vocabulary can help in the classroom. So Mrs. Hoda introduced for us the coming activity as usual. She's brilliant as usual. She could relate the content of the first, I guess, two halves of the two-thirds of the module or of the session. She related them to the second third of the module, which is how to use our knowledge of vocab and the aspects of vocab and the terms and all these issues that we have been discussing all over the session in our teaching learning process. How to use this, how does it have to do with our classroom? So again, you will tell me. You will answer the question that you raised yourself. So I need you to look at the slides, to read the three questions, and to think and to search in your teaching experience about the answers. And we have discussion together. Don't worry. You will tell me, and I'll tell you, and there is feedback and everything. Don't worry, we have lots of answers to these questions. So you have 3 minutes, a minute for each question, and think from your teaching experience and give me suggestions on how to use our knowledge of vocab in our teaching process, in our classroom, how to help our learners with the errors that they make using the vocab. Okay, so go ahead, thinking and expressing yourself.
Okay, Miss, the question is how can I use my vocab in order to help my students to
No, this is this is not the question. Okay, I'll clarify the first question so that we can have choral discussion now. Okay, Mrs. Hoda. Okay, I'll read it and thank you, Mrs. Fatima. I appreciate your opinion. You are better than I do. Okay, don't say it. Don't compliment it me. You are better. Whatever you say, I will tell you you are better. Okay? Don't say it again. I'm not brilliant. You are, my dear colleague. Okay, so the first one is how can you use your knowledge of vocab to help your learners with these difficulties? So, after I studied all these terms and all these aspects of vocab, and I am a teacher and I'm going tomorrow to my classroom and I have to have a lesson. Okay, so tomorrow in the classroom, tomorrow, inshallah, exactly. I mean, I will determine, I mean that tomorrow, exactly, inshallah. If I manage to go to my school tomorrow and I have a period, I have a class, and I, after knowing all these areas that we have studied today, how should this help me inside class? I will teach vocab tomorrow. How should I convey this knowledge into the teaching context? How? How could this information of vocab that you got today help your learners with these difficulties?
okay, I should focus.
Yes, you should focus. The first part of the answer is excellent. I should focus. Yes, that's the answer. You should focus. Yeah, this is the
On
answer. Yeah.
okay, okay, I should focus on pronunciation, synonyms, antonyms, prefix, suffixes, uh, and yeah, I should discover what the weakness of our student and try to help them to overcome this.
The difficulty, to overcome the difficulty or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
challenges that they face while learning vocab. Very
learning.
good. Yeah, very good. I appreciate your opinion. I need more participants to express. You should be, some people wrote they should be well organized. I need more elaboration in this, more clarification. The answer is simple. It's not something which
Yes,
is
Miss
hard or
Marwa.
something. Yeah, go ahead, Mrs. Amira.
Giving examples
Giving examples of what exactly?
of words in a
Okay,
statement.
I'll
Uh,
change
I,
this. I'll change this question into if I am teaching them a vocabulary item like theater. No, it is not theater. No, if I teach them a vocabulary item which is afraid, this is an adjective, afraid. So tomorrow you have a lesson and you have the word, you have to introduce the new word which is afraid. How should you present it? What information will you convey to your students? Afraid. What
Okay,
should you
first of
tell your
all,
Yes, Miss
students
Marwa.
about? Yeah, I need somebody else, please.
Yes, Miss Marwa.
Uh-huh. Who is it?
Heba?
Yeah, Miss Heba, go ahead.
Yes, firstly, we can explain the meaning of the word and
The meaning,
clarify the noun, adjective, adverb to make easier
the
to
pro
remember.
The part
Um,
of speech. You saw the meaning, the part of speech. What else?
as afraid, when explain the meaning of afraid, we say frightened of something.
Okay, just a minute, please. Do we pronounce it like afraid, or afraid? We
Afraid
have
of.
afraid of. So I'll say it again. We have two syllables. Okay, this word is made up of two syllables. So afraid. So what do we? What do I put the stress on? There is something which is called stress. Stress means that I raise my voice while pronouncing this syllable in particular, and I put a stress on this particular syllable. Like when I say, like this word, I should, what should I pronounce it? How should I pronounce it? Afraid or afraid? Afraid or afraid? Mhm.
Afraid.
Afraid.
Afraid. So the stress is on which syllable?
The
Second
first
syllable.
syllable.
On the second.
Excellent.
Second.
The second syllable. So this word is confusing in pronunciation. So as Mrs. Hiba said, I should tell them the meaning, the form, which is the part of speech, which whether it is an adjective, a verb, a preposition, a noun, like this. Okay, and also tell them about the pronunciation, how to pronounce it, about the stress, maybe. Yeah, tell them. Go ahead to tell them. Why didn't you, why did you learn about stress in the first place if you don't go in the class and tell your students about it? You have to convey your knowledge of vocab there. Okay, so tell them, oh my students, we pronounce it like this: afraid. Afraid. Why? Because there is something which is called stress, and stress here in this word, it's put on the second syllable, not the first syllable. So we say it like afraid. Afraid, not afraid. Not afraid. Afraid is wrong. It's wrong pronunciation. What else would you tell your students about afraid? What else of the items that we studied today? Tell me. This is the answer to the first question. I'll tell them about the meaning, the form, the pronunciation. I have to tell you that the meaning, the form, the pronunciation are referred to as MPF. MPF, the meaning, the form, the pronunciation. MPF. MPF is the meaning, form, the form is the part of speech, and pronunciation, how do we pronounce it? What else? I want to tell them.
Miss Marwa, we can mime the word afraid.
Oh, yeah, of course we can mime it. Can you just explain more to us?
I
For
can
example.
choose them a picture of a lion and
Uh-huh.
mime as I'm afraid of the lion.
Yeah, yeah. You can dramatize this adjective. Oh, I'm afraid, and you just act it. Okay. Yeah, this is to clarify the meaning, by the way. This is also meaning. So this has to do with meaning also. Can you use the word, for example, in an idiom? Do you know an idiom that uses the word afraid, that you may convey to your learners? I will tell you. For example, I can say, there is nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing to be afraid of. This is an expression which is very famous. Okay,
Okay.
you may tell your students about the prepositions that this adjective takes. For example, I may say, I'm afraid of the lion. I'm afraid to tell you. I'm afraid
Uh,
to tell you that I can't go.
okay. I may say, I can't do this. I'm afraid. In order to be sorry.
Very good. This is another meaning for the word afraid. I'm afraid I can't means I'm sorry I can't. What else can you tell them about it? Many, many things, as you see. So afraid to ask. I'm afraid to ask. It means I'm embarrassed to ask, Mr. Abdelmanam, thank you very much. So the answer of the first question, yeah, all what you have just said, that my knowledge of vocab and the vocab aspects and the concepts and everything, I can convey this knowledge to my learners. I can tell them about the pronunciation, the meaning, the figurative meaning, the idioms, the collocations, the words that go with this word. Okay, to be afraid, for example, is an expression, is a collocation. Okay, to look afraid, another collocation, words that go with the word afraid. You can introduce this kind of aspects or areas to your learners. Okay, this is important to do this. And again, you see, if it depends, yeah, it depends if well, it depends on the need of your learners. If you see that they need more information, you just elaborate on it and go on to give them more information about this aspect and blah blah blah. So what about the second question here? How important is register? By the way, the stress here is on the first syllable because it's a noun. When it is a verb, the stress is on the second syllable. So I can say this word register. If I am registering, so the stress is on the second syllable because it is a verb. So when it is a noun, I pronounce it like this: register. Register. It's noun. Register. I mean the style. How important is register? Should we focus on this in the classroom? Tomorrow I have a lesson, inshallah. Should I teach my students about the register of the word fair, for example, if I'm teaching them the word fair?
Do you mean telling the student that it's formal or informal?
Yeah, whether it is formal. For example, I may face this word, which is cranium, in a passage or a reading passage or a comprehension or whatever. Okay, so I may tell them, yeah, cranium is a medical term, my dear colleagues, my dear
Yes.
trainees, or my dear students. This word cranium, you have to know that it means a skull. But what's the difference between skull and the cranium, my dear learners? There is a difference because the word cranium is medical. Who uses this word? The doctors, the physicians at hospitals. All right, that sort of thing. This is the question. How, to what extent is register important? And do you yourself, or will you yourself use it in classroom, or even clarify it for your learners or focus on it? What's
Okay,
your
Miss.
opinion?
Miss Marwa,
Mhm. Yeah.
to show them how to speak and deal with different people, formal speech or informal speech, as
So
hi with people we don't know, hello with people we know.
so you
We should show them that to know the style of my to know the style of speech.
mhm. So you see, it's important. You see that it is very important. Okay,
Yes,
should you
yes.
focus on it? Should you focus in it on in the classroom? Will you do it yourself?
Okay, Miss.
Okay, go ahead, Mrs. Hoda. Is it Moses Hoda
Okay.
or somebody? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. In my opinion, I think it depends on the nature of the lesson. If we are in listening everyday language, okay, or in a program, for example, so I think that we are talking in informal way. But if we are dealing with a passage, a medical passage, for example, or a literary passage, we are dealing with formal language. Okay, it depends on the text and the nature of the lesson. Do you understand me?
I understand you. I got your point. But what if you are teaching them separate word, just one word without a context? Should you tell them about the register of this word? For example, if you faced the word gonna by chance, gonna,
Mhm.
should you tell them, or would you focus on telling them that, yeah, my dear students, this is very informal, and this is mainly spoken, and this is colloquial, and we don't use it in academic writing, and or in formal situations? Will you tell them things
Of
like
course,
this.
of course I will, and I think they are gonna to ask you first. What is this word? Why we use it? Okay, I think they
Mhm.
are going to ask before I am going uh,
Okay, those adult or adolescent learners will ask, of course, because they may hear these expressions in songs, and they are all the time listening and watching movies and listening to songs and that sort of thing. What about the primary students? Should they focus on the register?
no, I don't think it depends on the state. I think it
Yeah,
depends on the state.
I appreciate your use of the expression. It depends. Excellent. This is excellent. It depends. Yeah, it depends on the situation, on the needs of my learners. Actually, mainly the needs of my learners. If I feel that the level of my learners and the age and everything, their needs requires that I introduce this term, which is register, and tell them about the register of the word. All right, go ahead. Okay, you are the one who decides, and you are the leader of the whole teaching learning process, and you can see whenever it needs that you clarify the register of the word. All right, so actually I appreciate your answers. That was very helpful. And you have to tell them also about when to be polite. What are For example, if I'm teaching them about certain expression, I have to tell them, no, this is not a polite expression, and this is an impolite expression. For example, this expression can be used in academic or non-academic writing, that sort of thing. You can tell them about the situation and the relationship between the speakers. Maybe I'm dealing with my boss, so I have to use formal language. Maybe I'm speaking with a member of my family or my intimate friend, so I can be informal, no problem. I can be casual. I can use informal words, so no problem. I can tell them that this word is informal. Howdy, folks. Is a very informal expression. Howdy, folks. Like hi guys. Like hi man. Hey guys. Hey pal. Hey pal means my friend, means hello my friend, but this is a very informal. Okay, oh hey pal, hey pal, howdy folks. Lots and lots of expressions that are very informal. Okay, if I face expressions like this, and by chance in the lesson, or even when I'm speaking or explaining something, okay, I can tell my students, no problem. But whenever I feel that there is a need to do this. Is that clear, my dear?
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to
Yeah.
the third one, which is, could you adapt? He means change and adjust. Could you adjust, change, and modify? Okay. And use any of the activities from this module with your learners? Would you use any of the activities that we have practiced today with your learners? Remember
Yes.
your question. Remember your
Yes,
question,
Marwa.
Mrs. Huda. Mrs. Huda. Remember your question. Okay, how would we benefit from the kind of
Okay.
exercises?
I've said yes. For example, the find the errors. Okay, we use it again and
Find
again in the classroom.
Yes,
Also
find it.
to read the text and try to find the meaning. Okay, but
Excellent.
I think the activity that we do online was
Mhm.
very interesting. But of course, we can't do it in the classroom.
You can do it in the classroom.